know that there is a big chance to win a job if you read articles and view videos relating to human resource management? If you didn't know, then this video is for you, and continue viewing this episode. Why do people go to school? We all know that the primary reason is basic education for personal growth and development. This answer is still the topmost reason even these days. In these practical days, going to school is more of a preparation for the future. A future that is envisioned to be something for progress, and that what parents want for their children. Getting a university degree and land a stable job is what they dream of. After years in college or university, one will then face the challenging real world. To find a job or to quit the next level is a question for future seekers. Finding a job, especially the one you want, is not that easy these days. Competition is so stiff and qualifications are demanding. Both unemployment and underemployment are social problems greatly affecting a country. Every year, the employment world welcomes many hopeful young people to have jobs. In response to this, localities launch job fairs almost annually with the aim of helping job seekers find the job for them. Thousands try, many get hired, and others go home still jobless. Job fairs are good venues for fresh graduates to find their first job. For those who wish to change their current job, job fairs offer many options to choose from and try out. There are a huge number of applicants from everywhere. How could one win the heart of his or her target company? Some say that a job fair is just a drop your resume and try your luck thing. No, it is not. Be proactive, and come to think of it, you could introduce yourself to 20 more companies in just a couple of hours. The ability to make it bigger than hundreds of those other job seekers is the responsibility of every aspirant. Some people really tried a couple of useful tips shown in this video. In a job interview, when you try your luck at job fairs, remember these few reminders. Applicants prepare the most detailed resume, since employers would base their judgment over those pages of paper. An impressive resume is not actually the first means to make an employer be interested to your application. Recruitment or hiring managers will only be looking forward to read your resume if you look impressive from the very start. Dress up and act as a professional. You must not come in the thickest makeup or the flashiest clothes. Come on time, wear your skin and flaunt what you have. Answer questions sincerely and remember to relax while answering. Pay attention to the interviewer and flaunt your assets. Job fairs may lead you to your first or last job. Job interviews are your keys to the doors of opportunities. Keep on watching this channel and subscribe, because more videos are posted each week for a more valuable information that will surely help plan your future careers. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Did you know that observing the basic etiquette rule during a job interview is very important to you so you can land that dream job? If you didn't know, then this video is for you, and continue viewing this episode. During an interview, you need to mind your manners and follow an unspoken code of etiquette. This is more than your mom's keep your elbows off the table. Business manners are going to be the key. An interview is so much more than what you have to say, it is how you present or sell yourself. If part of the job you are applying is dealing with clients or executives from other companies, you can be guaranteed how you act is part of the decision-making process. The first basic rule is to maintain an eye contact when communicating to the panel of interviewers. You must maintain eye contact to them without being uncomfortable. There are some acceptable ways to do this. If you are answering a question, it is okay to glance away when gathering your thoughts, but if you are listening to someone, keep your attention focused on them even if their eyes are wandering. This shows good manners and that you care about what they are saying. Another basic etiquette is to avoid chewing gums or a mint in your mouth during the interview. If you want to be sure that you have fresh breath, chew gum or suck on the mint before arriving at your destination, but discard or finish them before you enter the building. It is distracting and rude to have them in your mouth when answering questions. Another basic etiquette is to use your interviewer's name. Ideally, you found out who you would be interviewed by when the meeting was arranged. If it isn't provided to you, be sure to ask who you will be meeting with in their position. When you arrive, shake hands and greet the person by name. If you are just learning their name, repeat it and remember it. You want to be sure to get it right and thank them for their time when you are leaving. These basic etiquette rules presented are just only few of the many etiquette rules one will observe and learn in order to land a dream job. So keep on watching this channel and subscribe, because more videos are posted each week for a more valuable information that will surely help plan your future careers. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to HR consulting advisors so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Did you know that the attire you wear in your job interview has a great impact to your personality, and this could mean losing or winning that dream job you're applying? If you didn't know, then this video is for you, and continue viewing this episode. Possibly even more stressful than the questions you are going to answer, you are going to find the perfect outfit to wear to a job interview. You want to look professional and would want to fit into the culture with the company you're applying. Your interview attire depends on the type of job you're applying for. However, no matter what the position, and even if there's no dress code, you should always look neat, tidy, and well-dressed. A good rule of thumb for men is that you can't overdress for the interview by wearing a shirt, and a tie or a suit is always a safe choice. For women, picking the clothes is more challenging. For both men and women, pick an outfit that you feel comfortable in and that fits you properly. You don't want pants that are too tight or a shirt that is too snug across the chest. It will be a distraction for both you and your interviewer. Along the same vein, pick colors that suit you but are not too bright, or patterns that are overly bold. You want the focus to be on your answers, not what you are wearing. Remember too that your overall appearance is going to be judged, and this includes more than the clothes you are wearing. Hygiene and grooming: be clean, neat and tidy. It is best not to wear a strong scent. Chances are you will be in a small room and it could make others uncomfortable. Your fingernails should be short and clean, your hair clean and tidy, and have mints with you, or brush your teeth immediately before leaving for the interview. Here are the suggested clothing for women to wear. Wear a navy blue blazer for endless options. A blazer and blouse combinations are great business interview outfits that are simple, yet extremely versatile. A navy blue blazer is a great addition to your interview wardrobe. A matching skirt or slacks, or a khaki skirt or dress pants, round out the outfit. Look for blouses with interesting details. An elegant blouse creates an elegant look, which can be completed with either a skirt or slacks. Add a skinny waist belt for a touch of detail that makes the top pop. A skirt made of an interesting fabric or a simple black pencil skirt is a great way to make a business look your own. Depending on where you're being interviewed, you can add a jacket to dress up the look. Go classic with a black dress and tights. A tasteful little black dress is the hallmark of a simple yet refined business wardrobe. Invest in a quality dress that skims the knee. To give your outfit some life, pair the dress with textured tights. Make sure the pattern is subtle. A sheer stripe, cable pattern, or ribbed look adds texture and interest. Finish your outfit with a pair of black heels for a classic, timeless formal business look. Pair a sweater and black dress pants. A pair of classic black slacks is an essential part of a woman's interview wardrobe. It's worth investing in a pair of quality black dress pants that fit well and will hold up after many wears. Once you have a good pair of dress pants, it's easy to dress them up or down. A statement dress. Although it's important that your interview attire is professional and conservative, that doesn't mean you can't experiment with color. A tasteful dress in an interesting color, such as a muted turquoise or deep red, is a good addition to your interview wardrobe. When working with bright colors, make sure the rest of the dress is modest. It's always important to make sure that both the neckline and hemline are appropriate. Avoid short dresses and low-cut, revealing necklines. All you need to round off a dress like this is a pair of black heels. You may wonder what all of these details has to do with your qualifications and getting the job. It has to do a lot with it, especially if you are going to be dealing with the company's customers face-to-face. The company will want to hire employees who are going to represent the company in the best possible light, so, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to HR consulting advisors so you will be successful in landing your dream job. You know that you must be prepared before a job interview? If you didn't know, then this video is for you and continue viewing this episode. It is completely natural to feel nervous before a job interview, but you can minimize pre-interview jitters with some preparation. Hopefully you have completed initial research on the company you applied for before being called in for an interview, but you are going to need to do more. You will never know exactly what is going to be asked to you unless you have an inside source, but you can be ready for the questions by knowing your stuff. Look up the company website and study the history, About Us page, and the products and services that are offered. Even if you are pretty sure you are not going to be quizzed on how the company came to be, it will give you insights into how the company operates and their philosophy. These factors should influence how you answer your questions. If it is obvious that they place high value on team players, you should brainstorm situations when you have displayed this trait. If you are applying for a sales position, you can be prepared for any role-playing questions because you have taken the time to learn the company's products and services. It will be impressive to your interviewer that you have taken the time to research the information. It shows a commitment to details and a true interest in the company. Another way to prepare for an interview is to complete a practice run with a friend or family member. Have them ask you questions and answer them as if you were already in the interview. Don't break character during the role play either. There are many questions that are asked in a typical interview, for instance, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So, don't let them come as a surprise to you. Practice so you can answer with confidence. Preparing for a job interview is just only a fraction of the many things one will learn in order to land a dream job. So keep on watching this channel and subscribe because more videos are posted each week for a more valuable information that will surely help plan your future careers. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to HR consulting advisors so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Did you know that you need to gather your thoughts in the waiting room while waiting for the job interview? If you didn't know, then this video is for you and continue viewing this episode. When in search for a job, you would definitely need to make it good in a job interview. This would be a big factor that would determine your future and the security of your future. A job interview would definitely be putting much pressure on you. The most difficult part for all is the time when you have to answer questions thrown by the panel of interviewers. This part would definitely let you gather your thoughts and the best answers you could ever give. But, if you take it in a proactive manner, you would definitely feel confident. The following are additional things to take note of when you are there on the waiting room about to be interviewed. 1. Tell yourself that you have prepared well and you must not feel nervous or unready for the interview. 2. Review the contents of your resume. You would be asked questions from that, so it would really help if you know what to say. 3. Think of questions that may be asked to you. Think about brief answers that you may give to your interviewee. 4. Feel that you look good. Check if there is something you could improve with how you look. When you feel good from within, it would exude. 5. Focus your mind on something or someone that would make you feel inspired. This is a way of keeping yourself relaxed. 6. Drink water if needed before getting inside the interview room. You would not be impressive if you sound choked. 7. Whisper an encouraging line for yourself and take that breath of confidence before entering the room for an interview. These simple reminders would definitely boost your esteem as you conquer that new challenge of your life. You just have to remember that it is just a new phase of your life that would just pass and be passed by you. You would make it through, and this job interview is just a petty test of your confidence. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Did you know that there is a technique in skipping or passing a tough interview question? If you didn't know, then this video is for you, and continue viewing this episode. Each interview has at least a question that you really don't know the best way to answer. It is the one that you agonize over for days and keep going over it in your head, and you ask others how they would have answered. There is no way to avoid these types of questions, but you can answer them with confidence to give yourself peace of mind until you will be able to restore your memory for a good answer. Do not feel that you have to answer immediately after you have been asked a question. You are not on a game show where the fastest contestant to answer wins. Your interviewers will appreciate that you have taken time to formulate your answer. If you are concerned by a prolonged silence, don't be, it is normal. If you have been asked a question that you do not know exactly what to say, ask for a moment to think of an appropriate answer. This is preferable to taking a long time to answer without explaining what you are doing. Skipping or passing an interview question is still acceptable, and this still shows professionalism and enthusiasm. If you really can't think of an answer to the question, you may tell the interviewer to answer the question at a later time. You may say, "Sorry, I have not encountered this situation before," or "The question is too complex to me. Can I request please to answer this question later on?" By doing this, you still showed enthusiasm and a true professional that can handle situations whatever it may be. But be sure to come back to that question at any stage when you have a ready answer. Don't ever try to forget going back to the question and have an answer, as interviewers won't forget that scenario. Thank your interviewers for giving you the extra time to come up with the right answer. If it is a lengthy question that is broken into parts, break it down. Don't try and answer it all at once. You can always ask for parts of the question to be repeated. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Are you in the process of finding and applying for jobs? If you are, you may be ready to mail out your resume. Before you send out your resume or resumes, you will want to take a close look at the cover letter of your resume. For starters, are you even using a cover letter? If you are currently not using a cover letter, you will want to refrain from mailing out your resume, at least right away. Many businesses expect to receive cover letters attached to all resumes. In fact, many now require them, especially with mailed-in applications or resumes. If you are unsure as to how you can go about creating the perfect resume, or at least one that can benefit you, you will want to continue viewing on. When it comes to creating the perfect cover letter, there are a number of important factors to take into consideration. One of those factors is the job that you are applying for and the wishes of that company. It is common for some employers to list exactly what they want cover letters to include. If you are given a sample or directions, you are advised to follow them. Not following instructions can result in your resume, as well as your cover letter, ending up in the don't call pile. As previously stated, A company may have their own preferences as to what they would like cover letters to include. This is because no two companies are truly the same. That is why it is advised that you do not use the same cover letter for each resume that you send out. Instead, you will want to create and distribute different cover letters for each employer that you have. You can have a sample cover letter or a template to use, but it is advised that you take the time to personalize each cover letter in one way or another. Speaking of personalizing your cover letter, you will want to personalize each cover letter that you send out to the jobs that you are applying for and the companies in which you are sending your resume to. For instance, if you are applying for the position of a legal secretary, you will want to plainly state that position. This will automatically set you apart from a good percentage of your competition. Customizing each of your cover letters to the particular job that you are applying for is a great way to get yourself noticed, as you took a few extra steps not necessarily required. Another one of the many ways that you can create the perfect cover letter for yourself is by being short and to the point. With that in mind, you will not want to be too short either. A cover letter should be at least 3 paragraphs and you should try and keep all cover letters under 1 page long. It is advised that you do not use any colored fonts, as black ink should do. It is also advised that you do not use any colored paper for your resume cover letter. Some job seekers mistakenly believe that this catches the eye of those in charge of scheduling job interviews. Yes, it may, but not always in the ways that you had hoped for. As for what you should include in your cover letter, it is advised that you list a few of your skills and qualifications. It is also important to keep this portion of your cover letter short and to the point. Your resume will go into further detail, but it is still advised that you quickly outline the qualifications and skills that you have. Be sure to focus on those that apply directly to the job that you are applying for. For example, if you are applying for the position of a legal secretary, you will want to summarize your computer software knowledge, typing skills, transcription skills, and so forth. The preceding points discussed are all points that you will want to take into consideration when making a cover letter for yourself. In all honesty, any cover letter is better than no cover letter at all, but with cover letters being relatively easy to create, why take the chance? So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
The purpose of a job interview is to give a potential employer the chance to talk to you in person and evaluate whether you would be a strong employee. But do you know how to act or behave in a way that your prospective employer make a good first impression on you? It's not all in the words that come out of your mouth, but often has a lot to do with the mannerisms that you use. Interviewers are not just wondering if you are skilled enough for the job, they are often wondering if you would fit in nicely with you coworkers. Your personality is a big part of your interview and can make all the difference. Here are some of the little things that you should pay particularly close attention to during an interview. 1. Show confidence. You cannot enter into an interview with a defeatist attitude. You cannot mope or exude too much placidity in your manner. It is not inviting, and does not give the impression of a person that you want to face every day. Be sure of your abilities without appearing cocky or narcissistic. You want to let your interviewer know that you are equipped to perform well at your job, without alienating other workers. You should point out your accomplishments in your field while remaining somewhat humble. List your accomplishments in a matter-of-fact way without going into too much detail. I know this sounds repetitive, but you can never get this point too strongly. Understand that body language plays a large part in exuding confidence to others. Sit straight. Practice good posture, and keep your head up. 2. Keep a positive attitude. You should always try to smile and keep a positive outlook during your interview. If what you are hearing something that doesn't sound good to you, don't frown and look disgruntled, just keep a slight smile on your face until it is time for you to say something. Then approach your interviewer with your questions or concerns when the time is appropriate. 3. Maintain eye contact. Keeping eye contact with your interviewer is very important, especially when one of you is speaking to the other. If you are looking around the room or at the items on the interviewer's desk, you will appear uninterested. Just imagine what you would be thinking if you were speaking to him and he was looking all over the room. You would probably think that you already lost the interview. 4. Body language. We've touched on this a little bit, but you should mind some of the common errors that many people make when they are speaking to others. I've listed some of the common things that you should avoid when sitting through an interview. A. Avoid fidgeting while speaking to your interviewer. It shows a lack of self-confidence. B. Avoid speaking while using overly expressive hand gestures. It is distracting. C. Avoid biting your lips in between sentences. It gives the impression that you are making things up. D. Do not sit with your arms crossed because it makes you appear standoffish. E. Do not shrug your shoulders when asked a question that you are unsure of. Take a second to think of your response. Shrugging your shoulders gives the impression that you don't know the answer. F. Don't answer with nods and head shakes. Use your words to answer questions. G. Don't speak slang words, don't chew gums or breath mints during your interview. These are unprofessional and rude. H. Get plenty of sleep the night before the interview. You don't want to yawn in front of the interviewer. He will think that you are expressing boredom. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Did you know that phone interview is an important tool of the employer to test how appealing you are on the way you speak and communicate? This video will show you some important tips how to prepare and project yourself so that you will be required to attend a face-to-face interview. While you're job searching, it's important to be prepared for a phone interview on a moment's notice. Many companies start the interview process with a phone call to discuss the job opportunity with a prospective employee, determine if the candidate is a good fit, and to gauge his or her interest in the position. In many cases, your interview will be scheduled in advance by email or phone. In others, you may receive a surprise phone call asking if you're available to chat about a job. You never know when a recruiter or a hiring manager might call and ask if you have a few minutes to talk, so always answer the phone professionally, especially if the number is unfamiliar. You should also make sure that your outgoing voicemail message is professional. The following are the things you have to do and prepare so that you would be able to pass a telephone interview when you are able to do the following well. 1. As you wait for the interviewee's call, place your resume near you for guidance. 2. Bring a paper and pencil for you to take notes. 3. Be sure to turn off call waiting options or whatever features that may disturb you while taking the call. 4. Make sure that there is silence, for it may disturb your conversation if there are children crying and other forms of noise. 5. No stereo, no TV. 6. Beware of eating or drinking anything while on an interview. You could take a sip of water when the interview is that long. 7. Speak clearly and smile while you answer. 8. Address the interviewee politely. 9. Listen well and do not interrupt the interviewee. 10. Say thank you and appreciate compliments. Though you do not see the person on the other line, you have to act as if you are talking face to face. It is good to be relaxed while taking the call. It would be sensed by the interviewee, whether you are sincere or you are too pressured. When the phone rings, take a deep breath, lift the receiver and say to yourself that you are indeed going to make it for that job. With the tips mentioned, you would definitely be able to make it well for the phone interview. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Interview is stressful. You are on display and have to sell yourself as the best candidate for a position in a company. The only thing worse than an interview is the panel interview, when 2 or more people are asking you questions and watching your every move. This situation may not intimidate everyone, but it is certainly not a comfortable position to be in. The reason for a panel interview is to get the opinion of multiple people at the same time on the viability of a work candidate. Typically the people that attend are from various departments within the company, a representative from human resources and the department that is hiring at a minimum. This saves time and money for the company and let them see how the candidates react under pressure. When you are listening to questions during a panel interview, maintain eye contact with the person who is speaking. Once the question has been asked, make sure to address your answer to all who are present. Make eye contact with everyone and include them in your attention. Be prepared for follow-up questions from any or all of the attendees. Each one is going to want to know information from an angle that will directly affect their department. You may find that in some panel interviews, only one person does the talking and everyone else is there simply to observe. Still address all of your comments to the group and don't let this interview. It is definitely stressful, but not unusual. Be flattered that they consider you a strong enough candidate to gather more than one person to evaluate your interview and choose you to work for the company. An interview is an investment for a company, an expenditure of money in the form of salaries. You are there because you have a chance at the position, so take advantage of the opportunity. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Are you currently on a search to find a new job? If you are, you may be preparing yourself for upcoming job interviews. Although a good percentage of your time should be focused on mastering the interviews at hand, you may also want to examine your actions and what they should be after an interview has ended. As discussed earlier, it is advised that you spend a good percentage of your time focusing on mastering the interviews which you should have scheduled soon. These preparation tips may include familiarizing yourself with common interview questions, creating a list of questions that you should ask interviewers, as well as choosing a professional outfit for you to wear. As soon as you have each of these preparation steps out of the way, you may want to take the time to focus on after the interview. After the interview? If you are wondering what you should do after a job interview, you are definitely not alone. Unfortunately, this is where many job seekers make mistakes, possibly costly mistakes. Many believe that as soon as they finish up a job interview, the rest is in the hands of the management staff. While this can ring true in many cases, did you know that there are still steps that you can take to improve your chances of getting the job, even after the interview has ended? One of the many steps that you can take after your job interview has ended, is by going out of your way to thank the interviewer. In most cases, you will find that this person would be your supervisor if you were to get the position. Be sure to thank them for the job interview opportunity. Also, if you had a scheduling conflict or were late to your job interview, be sure to thank the interviewer for being patient and accommodating to you. This may improve your chances in more ways than you could have ever imagined, especially if you were late. Be sure to shake hands. Many view this as the official closing of a job interview. When you leave the interview room, there is a good chance that you would have to walk through the rest of the establishment. Whether you have to walk 50 feet or 500 feet, there is a good chance that you will come into contact with other individuals, namely other employees. Be sure to acknowledge them with a quick hello as you pass. This is particularly important if a company supervisor is escorting you from the building or at least watching you leave. Acknowledging other co-workers shows that you are able to go out of your way to get along with them. This is a good sign that you may be a great team player. Once you return home, you will want to prepare a thank you letter to mail out to the interviewer. There are many individuals who have pre-made thank you letters. In fact, some will even mail out their thank you notes on their way home from the interview. While it is possible to do so, you may want to add a personal note to your thank you letter. This will help to prove it wasn't necessarily a pre-planned gesture. With that in mind, the sooner that you can mail out your thank you note, the better shape you will likely be in. You will want to try and have your thank you note reach its recipient before an official decision has been made on who gets the job. As discussed earlier, there are a number of different ways that you can go about landing your dream job even after the job interview has concluded. What is nice is that these steps are relatively easy to implement. In fact, you rarely have to take any special action. These steps may not always lead you to be hired for the job, but there is no harm in taking a chance. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Are you frustrated with your current position at work? Would you like to advance in your company? If you would like to do so, you may be interested in asking for a promotion. The question is, should you? When it comes to determining if you should ask for a promotion, it is something that you may not want to do on impulse. Asking for a promotion can work in your favor, but there are no guarantees. A promotion request can cause no changes or it can cause you harm. For that reason, there are a number of factors that you will first want to take into consideration before you ask your boss for a promotion. One of the many factors that you will want to take into consideration when determining if you should inquire about a promotion is an open position. If you want to be promoted, do you even know if there is an open position or one that will soon open? This alone can improve your chances of receiving a promotion, as they often say that timing is everything. What you will want to do is keep your eyes and ears open. If you hear of any open positions in your company or if you see job listings online or in your local newspaper, you may want to consider asking your supervisor for a promotion. Your length of employment is another factor that should be taken into consideration before you make a decision about asking for a promotion. While there are no guarantees, your chances of receiving a promotion are higher with long-term employment. Many companies like to promote from within, as well as promote those who have been with the company for an extended period of time. A short employment term doesn't mean that you can't ask for a promotion, but it is just one of the many factors that you will want to take into consideration. Your intentions are another factor that you should take into consideration when trying to determine if you should ask your supervisor for a promotion. Are you interested in leaving the company in search of a better job, such as one that may offer better pay or better benefits? If you are interested in doing so, you may want to consider asking for a promotion, but in a pleasant manner. If you are looking for greener pastures, you may have nothing to lose by asking for a promotion. In fact, you may be surprised with the answer that you hear. Many employers will use promotions or higher pay to retain employees who they do not want removed from their team. Of course, you don't want to instigate workplace gossip, but you may want to see if any other employees have asked for a promotion in the past. Did they see success or were they turned away? Speaking of which, were there any complications that arose from the asking of a promotion? This is important, as it may give you an idea as to whether or not you should ask for a promotion. As a reminder, it is important to not take the approach of gossiping to get your information, but you may just want to keep your eyes and ears open. If you do decide that you would like to ask your supervisor or supervisors for a promotion, you are advised to proceed with caution. Unless you have worked personally with your supervisors before, They may be unaware of your employment status or the tasks that you have completed. You will want to attempt to schedule a meeting with your supervisor or supervisors. During this meeting, you will want to try and sell yourself. Point out all of your accomplishments, mention how advancement has always been a goal of yours, and so forth. The preceding factors mentioned are just a few of the many factors that you will want to take into consideration when trying to determine if you should inquire about a promotion. Should you decide to do so, it is advised that you take a pleasant approach and do not get upset or feel offended if your request for a promotion is denied. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Are rumors circulating throughout your workplace that there may be downsizing, a layoff or merger? Are there bad news that the coronavirus epidemic is affecting your work environment, and that laying off some employees is the alternative way of doing to survive the company you are employed? Are you scared and don't know what to do? These 5 tips can help you feel more in control of your financial situation. 1. Take a long, hard look at your monthly bills. Are you up to your neck in debt? Now is the time to tighten your belt and try to get a handle on the interest rates you are currently paying. Can you pay down some of your debt right away? Transfer to another, lower rate credit card? Should you refinance your mortgage or home equity loan? Now would be the time to take care of this, not after you've received your pink slip. 2. What can you trim in your monthly budget? Stop buying those lattes every morning and save about $80 in 1 month. Rent a DVD instead of going to the movies. You are the only one who can decide what you can and cannot live without, but these are 2 good examples of the latter. Cut back on your dining out and you'll see more green in your wallet right now, when you need it the most. 3. Be more aware as you pull out your wallet for everyday expenses and decide if you really need to buy that item. Now is not the time for a shopping spree to cheer you up. Instead, make an effort to be more aware of where your money goes every day, every week. 4. With gas prices skyrocketing, should you consider buying a hybrid car, or at least one that gets better mileage? Do it now, while you're still employed. See if the dealership offers any customer incentives such as a rebate or lowered interest rate on the loan. 5. Do you know what benefits at work you are entitled to? Take the time now to ask the Human Resources Department what benefits you're currently enrolled in. If you have health insurance, be sure to get any physicals or medical tests now to make use of this benefit. Take advantage of any dental or vision coverage you may have. Get those eyeglasses or contact lenses updated now or schedule a visit for a checkup at the dentist. Those copays are a whole lot cheaper than paying full price later. Being aware of the situation, planning and taking action makes you feel more in control of your life. Sure, you can't do anything about being laid off, and in most cases, unless you committed gross misconduct on the job, it's not your fault. It's a management decision that will probably wind up changing your life for the better. See this as a new opportunity, not as a loss, and your positive attitude will help you find a new job soon. Good luck. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Do you know how to perform a great job when leaving your current employer that cements your professional reputation? If you don't know, then this video is for you. The way you resign from a job can have a lasting impact on your future career, so it's important to know how to quit your job without damaging your professional reputation. The business world can be surprisingly small, so even if your time with a particular employer hasn't been completely positive, it's critical to take a professional approach to resigning.
This not only ensures the door is left open if you ever want to return to your current employer, it can also increase the likelihood of receiving a glowing reference. Employees often admit they're nervous about making the departure announcement. They're afraid the boss will be angry. They feel guilty about the work they're leaving behind. Maybe someone else has to take up the slack for a while. Here are some guidelines to move to your next position with grace and style. 1. Give the correct amount of notice required by your company's written policy. Every so often employees feel sorry for their former colleagues, so they stick around an extra week or even an extra month. Inevitably, they begin to feel like a fifth wheel. Nearly everyone says, "Next time I'm leaving right away." 2. After you leave, do not accept any job-related calls from your company unless you have a written consulting contract. Your boss required 2 weeks' notice, but belatedly realized she needs 4 weeks for a smooth transition to your successor. Your boss made a business decision to require 2 weeks' notice. When she miscalculates, she needs to accept the cost, just as she'd accept the cost of late payments to a supplier. If your company needs additional help, offer to work as a paid consultant with a contract. But get everything in writing and make sure your new job becomes your #1 priority. 3. Study your current and future company policies regarding disclosures and non-compete agreements. Some companies are extremely proprietary about their process and their people. Once you resign, you may have to leave the workplace immediately. Or your new company may ask you not to work for your former employer, even on a part-time basis. 4. Resign to your boss in person, if at all possible. Phone is second best. Tell the boss before you tell anyone else, even your best friend or golfing buddy. 5. Expect your boss to be professional. Employees often fear the boss's reaction. However, bosses rarely are caught by surprise. Good bosses are happy to see their employees move ahead. Thank her for the opportunity to learn, which has led to your newest and most wonderful career move. 6. Thank your boss and your coworkers, even if you hate them all and can't wait to leave. You may regard them more fondly through a haze of memories than a glare of office lighting. You may encounter them at conventions and networking groups. And most likely, you will benefit from strong references and goodwill. 7. Treat the exit interview as a business formality, not a therapy session. When a human resource professional asks why you are leaving, be upbeat and positive for a better opportunity. Talk about how much you love the company and your job. You never know where your comments will turn up, mangled and misinterpreted. 8. Resist entreaties to share the details of your future position with anyone. Occasionally, a colleague will try to assess your salary or other information so they can stay competitive in recruiting. Helping the company recruit is not part of your job in any way. Do you really believe this? Details of your future employment should remain confidential, even from your close friends in the company. 9. Focus on your new opportunity, not your past experience. Once you're gone, you're history. The very same folks who loved meeting you for lunch will barely remember your name a week later. And, if you haven't changed jobs for a while, you may be in for a shock. Your first day in a new position can be a real eye-opener. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Have you been having problems at work, namely problems with your boss or your coworkers? If you have, you are not alone. Workplace conflicts are a lot more common than you may have originally thought. You and many others may have problems with a coworker, a supervisor, or both. When faced with a workplace conflict, you will want to be careful, as your actions can have consequences. When it comes to handling workplace conflicts, there are a number of different factors that you will want to take into consideration. One of those factors is the situation or who you may have a conflict with. If your conflict is with a coworker, you may want to speak with one of your supervisors. On the other hand, if you are having a conflict with your supervisor, you may be able to go above their head and deal with another member of management. Speaking of having workplace conflicts with a coworker, it is important to note that you need to proceed with caution, especially when reporting their behavior to your supervisor. You need to remember that even the best of workplaces have cliques. You will want to make sure that your supervisor isn't close with the person in question. Even if a relationship does exist, you can still take your concerns to your boss, but you just need to do so in a pleasant and professional way. You will want to avoid, at all costs, sounding like you are spiteful or gossiping. On the other hand, if you have a problem or a workplace conflict with your supervisor, you will want to consider going above their head, especially if the conflict you are having is a major one. Major conflict can involve unfair treatment, unpaid overtime, and so forth. Unless you are dealing directly with the owner of your company, you will likely find that your supervisor has a boss and so on. When speaking with a supervisor, especially one who is ahead of your own manager, you will be as professional as possible. You will want to try and schedule a meeting in person. You may have to make arrangements over the phone or through email, but you should refrain from divulging too much information at first. As discussed earlier, it is important that you are professional when handling any workplace conflict. It may be a good idea to keep documentation of all the complaints or problems you would like to bring attention to. For example, you may want to write down the time and date and a summary of what happens each time that you may be harassed, even if it is not sexual in nature. You will want to have documented proof to back up your claims, especially the serious ones. The last thing that you want to do in a meeting with your supervisor or even their supervisor will come off as unprofessional or as the one with the issues. The above-mentioned methods are just a few of the many ways that you can go about trying to resolve any conflicts that you may be having at work. Any small issues, such as a coworker wearing a strong perfume, should try to be handled privately first. If you are unable to see success, especially after supervisors have been alerted, you may then want to consider seeking employment elsewhere, but you may want to use this only as a last resort. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Do you love your job, but just not your coworkers? If this is how you can describe your feelings about your job, you may want to continue viewing on. Unfortunately, when placed in a similar position, one that involves difficult or unruly coworkers, many individuals assume that their only option is to resign from their current position. Of course, it is more than possible for you to do so, but did you know that you do have other options? If you ever find yourself in a situation where you have complications, problems, or a conflict with a coworker of yours, there are a number of different steps that you can take. These steps, which are discussed later, can help you retain your job and your income, which you may rely on to support your family. If you have been looking for an easy way to deal with one or more difficult coworkers at your workplace, you will want to continue viewing on. Before examining ways in which you can handle or deal with difficult coworkers, it is important to remember that circumstances should be taken into consideration. A small conflict may be one that you can handle on your own, however, more serious problems may call for more serious actions. With that in mind, one of the first things that you should do, when looking to deal with a difficult coworker, is speaking with them privately. When speaking with a coworker that you have a problem with, you will want to be careful. When this conversation takes place, should it ever, you will want to be as pleasant and as friendly as possible. Many individuals do not realize that even a slight attitude can make a problem with a coworker much worse. If you are frustrated with a coworker who can never seem to get a project completed on time, you may want to offer to help them create a schedule. If you have a problem with a perfume or cologne that a coworker may be wearing, you may first want to explain any health complications that you may be having due to the scent. As previously discussed, it is important to remember that there are extenuating circumstances that should be taken into consideration. For instance, if you feel that a coworker of yours is harassing you, in a sexual way or not, you may want to refrain from speaking to them. In certain situations like these, those who are unstable feed off of contact from you and others in your situation. To protect yourself from any harm, you may want to consider contacting your supervisor right away. Speaking of contacting your supervisor, if you have discussed your problems with a coworker personally and you have not seen any positive changes, you may want to consider bringing your supervisor in on the issue. When doing this, you will want to use your best judgment. If you regularly find yourself performing the duties and tasks for your coworker, or if they mishandled important company documents, you should approach your supervisor without any question. Smaller issues you may want to refrain from bringing your supervisor in on, as you may actually end up creating a bad impression of yourself. The preceding discussions are just few of the many steps that you can take if you are having conflict or problems with one of your coworkers. As a reminder, you are advised to use your best judgment when handling situations such as these. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. You know that running both a family and career is a difficult thing to do? Well, often when running after two rabbits we'll end up losing both of them. But no, that saying is not always true and it does not apply here. Usually people find it confusing when they realize that in order to have a family they have to give up their career dreams, or in some cases even their jobs. Actually, it's all about priorities and self-control. Please continue viewing on this video so you will know how to manage successfully both a family and a career. If ever confronted with a problem, and no other advice works, try following these stages and maybe you will find the answers you need. 1. Decide if you are ready to have a family. This is very important. You must take consideration in all aspects because family life means children, spending time together and support. If you don't feel ready and still take this step, your family will end up neglected for sure and you shouldn't try to follow the next steps unless you are ready. 2. Assuming you have a job, make a work plan and try to share work problems at home. You might find it unbelievable, but your family can help with your work. They love you and even though they are not specialists in your work area, they will do their best to give the best possible advice. 3. To have a career, you have to work harder. Try getting some work home. When waiting that promotion, you will have lots of unplanned work to do. If you stay and finish it all at the office, your family will barely see you. Try and take home with you what can be taken and at least they will be happy knowing you are next to them, even if you are busy. 4. Keeping a warm atmosphere at home will ease your job. Do not fight with your family when you come home stressed from work and also do not keep work problems secret from your family. If when you get up in the morning you will be encouraged and leave home contentedly, your job will be a lot easier. 5. When getting a promotion, discuss it at home. Even if it means more work, your family will understand if they are asked first. They don't want to get in the way of your career and desires, they just want to see you and talk to you every day if possible. But they will let you go work as much as you need and where you need to if you make taking the better job their decision. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Are you frustrated with your job? Whether you dislike your boss, your coworkers, your work hours, or the pay, you may be interested in quitting your job. Of course, the decision to quit your job is your decision to make, but there are some instances in which you may want to give your decision a second thought. A few of those instances are hereby presented for your convenience. One of the many situations where you may want to hold off on quitting your job right away is if you recently got a new boss. If you have a new supervisor, you are encouraged to give it time. Most new supervisors are difficult at first, as they feel that they need to be. But over time, you will find that most of those in management will let a new side of themselves show, possibly a more pleasant and friendlier side. Another one of the many situations in which you may want to reconsider quitting your job is if you are annoyed by one of your coworkers, namely the one who may have a desk or an office next to or near you. You should never let someone else make you quit or lose your job, especially if it is just because you do not like them. Of course, you are advised to take your safety into consideration. If one of your coworkers is displaying actions that may cause you harm, you may need to take action right away. This action may involve resigning from your job, but it should also involve contacting a supervisor first. You should never have a quit your job because someone else is in the wrong. A poor review is another situation in which you may not want to quit your job. Although it may seem embarrassing and frustrating if you ever receive a bad review, it is important to remember that it can happen to the best of people and the hardest of workers. No one is perfect all of the time, and this is something that you need to remember. Instead of quitting your job because of a poor review, you will want to use your review as an opportunity to better yourself. You can set the goal of improving your workplace actions, which should result in a better review the next time around. Being passed up for a promotion is another reason why you may not want to quit your job. There are a number of different factors to take into consideration when it comes to promotions, namely being passed up for one. Why were you passed up for the promotion that you wanted, do you know? Was there another employee who was more qualified or who had more seniority than you? You can also use being passed up for a promotion as a way to improve your work skills by setting goals for yourself. With that in mind, if you regularly find yourself being passed up for promotions that you are more than qualified for, you may want to consider seeking employment elsewhere. The above-mentioned situations are all situations in which you may want to refrain from quitting your job, especially without consideration. Of course, there are extenuating circumstances to the situations mentioned above, such ones that may involve sexual harassment or other dangerous situations in your workplace. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Have you ever wondered how to cool down an angry customer in the middle of a heated conversation? Are you stressed and would want that you win in the argument? If you are in the business world, the best way to do is to observe the basic techniques in handling an angry customer. This video will present to you how to deal with angry customers so that you will remain competitive in your business. 1. Don't make threats. Have you ever said this, "If you don't calm down, I'm not going to help you," or, "If you continue to yell at me, I'm going to have no choice but to terminate this phone call"? If you've ever made these, or similar, statements, I'd bet that your sole intent was to regain control of the conversation. But the problem is, Your customer perceives this type of language as threatening, and it does not make them back down, and it does not create calm. Try a phrase like this instead: "I really want to help you, but your tone/language is making it really hard for me to do that." And then pause for 2 to 3 seconds to let your words resonate with the customer. 2. Don't argue. Trust me on this one, you can never win an argument with a customer. Certainly, you can prove your point and even have the last word. In a discussion on the futility of arguing with people, Dale Carnegie once said, "You may be right, but as far as changing your customer's mind is concerned, you will probably be just as futile as if you were wrong." Your goal in complaint situations is to retain the customer, not to be right. If you win the argument, you may very well have lost the customer. Carnegie encourages us to carefully consider some hard questions before going to battle with customers. Is my reaction one that will relieve the problem, or will it just relieve frustration? Will my reaction drive my customer further away? What price will I pay if I win the argument? Carnegie advises, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. By the way, customers will spread negative word-of-mouth advertising to 50 people if they get into argument with you. 3. Don't hang up on the customer. I realize I sound conservative on this one, but I stand firm. If you hang up on a customer who is already livid, do you think a disconnect helps the situation or hurts the situation? The customer still has the problem, and most customers won't give up their fight because you chose to hit the flash button. Most will call back, and guess what? They will be angrier than ever, and it will cost far more in time and money to resolve the issue. If you just can't handle the customer, offer to transfer to a supervisor or coworker. 4. Don't make the customer feel helpless. I cringe every time I hear an employee say, "This is all I can do." When customers feel helpless, some will resort to whatever they feel it takes to get their needs met. This behavior may include yelling, demanding to speak to a supervisor, or starting a blog about your company. This simple phrase changes the entire tone of a tough situation. "Mr. Bryant, what I can do is." 5. Don't raise your voice. When I want my 5-year-old daughter to use her inside voice, I don't yell, "Lauren, use your inside voice." I speak in my inside voice with the expectation that she will mirror the calm tone of my voice, and she does without any further prompting from me. We must use the same technique with demanding customers. Escalating your voice when dealing with an upset customer will not create calm. It will only incite your customer. Lowering your voice presents you as confident, in control, and credible. In many cases, your angry customer will begin to calm down because he realizes his intimidation tactic, yelling, isn't working. Try making one of these statements in a low volume when dealing with an angry customer. "What can I do to help?" Or "What can I do to fix this situation?" 6. Don't tell a customer she is wrong. You will be smart to never tell a customer he is wrong or mistaken. Telling a person they are wrong arouses opposition and will make the customer want to battle with you. Ever tell your spouse they are wrong? It's difficult, under even the most benign conditions, to change people's minds. So why make it harder by starting out on the wrong foot? If you know your customer is wrong, it's better to start off saying, "I thought the contract read otherwise, but let's take a look." The next time you find yourself the target of verbal abuse from an angry customer, keep in mind these 6 don'ts and you'll be well on your way to getting the angry customer to back down and regaining control of the conversation. These tips will not only help you manage and control your physical emotion but will help you earn the trust and confidence of your customers, thereby increasing your sales, which every businessman is dreaming about. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
You experienced buying something in a department store and the sales attendant did not bother to say thank you for shopping in their store? And for returning damaged goods, the store owner denied to refund or accept the goods back because you lost the proof of purchase? How do you feel of the situation? Would you like to come back and buy again? This video will give you 8 tips for an exceptional customer service so your business will be competitive and will survive in today's very tough business world. The preceding questions fall under the tenets of customer service. It almost goes without saying that good customer service is essential to sustaining any business. No matter how wonderful a job you do of attracting new customers, you won't be profitable for long unless you have a solid customer retention strategy in place and in action. It's the actions that count, not what you say you'll do, or what the policy says. People will remember what you or your employees have done or not done. One of the key components of an effective retention strategy is exceptional customer service. Not just good service, but memorable service. Today, consumers' expectations are higher than ever, and companies that fail to deliver risk losing market share. Here are 8 tips in delivering an exceptional customer service. 1. Treat your customers like a king. This is an age-old business mantra accentuating the importance of customers and would-be customers in every business. Traditionally, this rule usually entails a company's promise to provide good customer service. But with the current evolution on work and business settings coupled with technological advancement, customer is king means more than just good customer service. 2. Be polite. Too frequently, company representatives ask customers for file information without saying, please, or even being polite. It is not acceptable for a service representative to simply bark out, account number? And it is never acceptable for a service representative to insult a client. 3. Thank your customers like you mean it. When your employees conclude a transaction, they should thank the customer with a smile and a sincere thank you for transacting business with your organization. Too often, customers received a rushed and barely civil "thanks, have a nice day." With large purchases, the verbal greeting should be followed up with a handwritten card, not just because it leads to increased referrals, but because it is the correct thing to do. Oh, and by the way, the word "sure" is no way to respond when a customer thanks you. To many people in many parts of the world, this is dismissive and suggests you don't care. The correct phrase is, "You're welcome." 4. Appearances do count. Independent research showed that nearly 90% of customers form an impression about how competent and reputable your company is based on what they see when they walk through your doors. Customers are becoming increasingly annoyed and frustrated with having to sift through a multitude of options and press numerous buttons only to be told that the desired service can only be obtained through the company's website. Worse is when the auto attendant uses voice recognition but doesn't recognize your voice. People want to connect with human beings, they don't want to listen to a long list of prompts. 5. Do what you say you will, when you say you will. The expression, under-promise, over-deliver, may have become somewhat hackneyed through overuse, but is still germane. One of the quickest ways to lose customer confidence is to not follow through, or to be late delivering a service or product, without notifying the customer in advance, determining whether or not the delay will impact the customer and providing an alternate solution in the interim if necessary. 6. Surprise the customer from the time to time. When it is possible to provide an extra level of service, do so. Whether it's an unexpected complimentary dessert in a restaurant, or an upgrade that has not been requested, these special gestures go a long way towards engendering customer loyalty and to winning you new customers. It has long been known that on average, a dissatisfied customer will tell 10 to 16 others, but people who have had an unexpectedly good experience also recount their stories. 7. Apologize when you are wrong. When you have made a mistake, admit it and set things straight. When customers have a complaint, listen, truly listen. Then apologize and take corrective action. In many instances, the very act of listening without interrupting can be enough to diffuse the situation and make the person feel worthy as a customer. Then ask the customer how they would like you to resolve the situation. In most instances, your client will come up with something reasonable and often less costly than a solution you might have proposed. 8. Listen to your customers. Conduct your own surveys and get feedback on what they like and don't like and take corrective action as required. Let customers know that their business is appreciated and that their opinions are important to you. None of these suggestions takes a lot of time or money to implement, yet they can pay dividends in increased customer satisfaction and retention. The key, though, is to ensure that employees understand the importance of their frontline role and get good training and supervision. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Did you know that job interview questions and answers can be anticipated and prepared so that you will stay calm and composed throughout the interview process? During a job interview, listening is just as important as answering questions. It is important to listen to the interviewer, pay attention, and take time, if you need it, and to compose an appropriate answer. Presented in this video are 16 tips how to answer job interview questions thrown by the panel of interviewers so that you will be successful in your job interview. 1. Describe yourself or tell me about yourself. This is a question that the interviewer wants to know why you're an excellent fit for the job. This is not about your family, not about your age, not about religion, not about your personal circumstances. You can start by telling your recent job experience that relates to the job you are applying, followed by your education or qualification and a personal statement why you are a good fit to the role. Sample answer: I have been working as an executive assistant to the finance manager of XYZ company for 4 years. I started as an accounts clerk and was promoted after 1 year. My work includes reception, answering the phones, customer appointment, ordering supplies, taking meeting notes, etc. I am passionate about learning new skills and I have completed a number of training courses. I have developed a strong skill set including administrative and accounts work. I am eager to make full use of this in a larger working environment. I am a graduate of a degree in business administration and I love working people with different backgrounds and races because I am friendly and energetic person. I believe that I am most qualified to this position because the duties and responsibilities I am currently doing at XYZ company are almost similar to the one you are advertising. 2. What is your greatest strength? This is one of the questions that employers almost always ask to determine how well you are qualified for the position. When you are asked about your greatest strengths, it's important to discuss the attributes that qualify you for that specific job, and that will set you apart from other candidates. Often you will be asked about your strengths. It's important to realize that in an interview, you need to be able to sell yourself. Not everyone feels comfortable talking about themselves in a positive light. It's something that needs to be done tactfully, and the purpose of it is to demonstrate to the interviewer why you're the best person for the job. The best way to tackle this question is in 3 steps. 1. Start by talking about your strengths from a technical point of view, example, skills and experience that are relevant to the specific role. 2. Talk a little about generic skills that are transferable, example, communication skills and the ability to work in a team. 3. Finish off by giving the employer a little bit of an insight into your personality. By answering this question in 3 steps, you are showing the interviewer that you are a well-rounded individual who not only brings to the role experience, but excellent positive attributes as well. Sample answer: my greatest strength is bank reconciliation of several bank accounts which I'm doing with my last employer. This is because I underwent 3 training courses in cash management. It is a must that I will communicate several branches of our company, so I need to communicate proficiently to the different person handling the accounting side of the business. This is the reason my communication skills has improved so much, leading me to be one of the awardees for an Employee of the Month in our team. Finally, I am also a great team player. Whatever and whenever my team needs me, I am ready for an answer or suggestion. That's why they all like me. 3. What is your greatest weakness? Probably one of the most common, yet trickiest questions to handle in an interview is talking about your weaknesses. Think of this as an area you may need to improve on. This question, if answered well, can act in your favor. Most importantly, don't ever say "I don't know" or "I don't have any." Be careful that whatever you say doesn't jeopardize you for the role. The best way to answer this question is by acknowledging that you have a weakness and that you're doing something to improve it. By answering the question in this manner, it puts a positive spin to what is usually a negative point. It also shows the employer that you are willing to take the initiative in improving your skills. Sample answer. 1. Speaking in front of large crowds is not something I'd feel confident about. I would like to improve my skills in this area, so I do try to speak up in team meetings more often. 2. I don't particularly enjoy filing, but I realize it's an important part of the role. So what I do is allocate a certain part of the day to complete this task. 4. Why should we hire you? The interviewer wants to know if you're the best candidate for the job. The hiring manager wants to know whether you have all the required qualifications. Be prepared to explain why you're the applicant who should be hired. Make your response a confident, concise, focused sales pitch that explains what you have to offer and why you should get the job. Sample answer. You should hire me because my experience is almost perfectly aligned with the requirements you asked for in your job listing. I have 5 years progressive experience in the hospitality industry, advancing from my initial role as a front desk associate with ABC Worldwide Resort to my current position there as a concierge. I'm well versed in providing world-class customer service to an upscale clientele, and I pride myself on my ability to quickly resolve problems so that our guests enjoy their time with us. 5. How to answer a difficult question you do not know. Skipping or passing a tough interview question is acceptable, and this still shows professionalism and enthusiasm. You may answer, "Sorry, the question is too complex," or "I have not encountered this situation before. Can I request please to answer this question at a later time?" By doing this, you are showing to the interviewer that you have the composure to handle difficult situations, which is admired by most interviewers. But be sure to answer the question at any time if you have the ready answer. Don't ever try to forget answering the question because interviewers won't forget it. 6. Why did you leave your most recent job? The interviewer wants to know why you want to work for their company. When asked about why you are moving on from your current position, stick with the facts, be direct and focus your answer on the future, especially if your departure wasn't under the best circumstances. Sample answer. I was very fortunate to be hired by Alexandra Company right out of college. They taught me a lot about digital marketing, and it's been stimulating to work as a contributor to their creative teams. However, I'm ready for the next step. I've always been a leader. I was captain of the crew team in college, student body vice president, and I've served as team lead for most of our projects in fiscal year 2012. I think I'm ready to move into management, but Alexandra Company already has very talented managers in place, and they won't be leaving such a great employer anytime soon. I've completed supplemental management training courses during my time there, and I know I can hit the ground running as your next digital marketing manager. Do not give a laundry list of reasons for leaving. Keep negative statements out of the conversation no matter what the circumstances in your last position. Speaking negatively about previous employers or employees is not positive for you and will hamper your candidacy. 7. How do you handle stress and pressure? The interviewer would want to know how you would react when things don't go smoothly at work. How do you deal with difficult situations? The employer wants to know how you handle workplace stress. Avoid claiming that you never, or rarely, experience stress. Rather, formulate your answer in a way that acknowledges workplace stress and explains how you've overcome it, or even used it to your advantage. Sample answer. I'm not someone who is energized by or thrives in stressful environments. My first step in managing stress is to try to circumvent it by keeping my work processes very organized, and my attitude professional. When customers or associates came to me with issues, I try to look at things from their perspective, and initiate a collaborative problem-solving approach to keep the situation from escalating. I find that maintaining an efficient, congenial office with open lines of communication automatically reduces a lot of workplace stress. Of course, sometimes unanticipated stressors will arise. When this happens, I just take a deep breath, remembering that the person I'm dealing with is frustrated with a situation, not with me. I then actively listen to their concerns and make a plan to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. 8. Are you a team player? Yes, I am very much a team player. In fact, I have had opportunities in my work, school and athletics to develop my skills as a team player. For example, on a recent project, emphasize teamwork behavioral examples and focus on your openness to diversity of backgrounds. Talk about the strength of the team above the individual. 9. Why do you think you will be successful at this job? As my resume reflects, my duties and responsibilities are almost similar to the job you are advertising, and my work values happen to be the same as your company values, which is to be transparent whatever way we are doing. 10. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? What they really want to know is how long will you be committed to working for the company. Firms tend not to hire someone who will only be around for a year or two. Let the interviewer know that you are looking for stability. Also let them know that you are willing to take on additional responsibilities and learn new skills if it will help the firm. Sample answer. Within 5 years, I would like to become the best accountant in your company. I want to work toward becoming the expert that others rely upon. And in doing so, I feel I will be fully prepared to take on any greater responsibilities which might be presented in the long term. 11. Tell me something about our firm or company. This is one of the most important questions in an interview. It shows if you are serious about the opportunity. This goes back to doing your homework and preparing for the interview. You want the interviewer to be confident that you know about their manufacturing company, but let the interviewer tell you about the company too. Keep your answers simple and to the point. Talk about the top officers of the company, the mission and vision of the organization, the location of their head office, the number of employees if possible if you know, number of branches and the products and services they are offering. Read from official gazettes, pamphlets, brochures and company websites for information. Let your friends email you information if they know the company you are applying. 12. What do you look for in a job? An opportunity to utilize your skills, contribute to the firm and to be recognized for a job well done. Talking about salary, benefits and/or vacation here is not suggested. 13. Tell me a recent mistake that you have made. I accidentally misfiled an invoice at the office that was due for payment the next week. As soon as I realized this, I told the office manager and the disaster was averted. 14. What motivates you? Please do not say money, even if it is. You should say, to be motivated by life's noble pursuits or something similar. You may also say that you want recognition for a job well done. You want to become better at your job. You want to help others or be a leader in your field. 15. A strange question not relevant to the job may be thrown at you during the interview. We value creativity among our employees. With that in mind, what kind of plant would you be, and why? This type of question is a test of your ability how to answer questions beyond the box. By answering quickly without hesitation, you are showing to the interviewer that you have a quick mind and possess an ability to handle pressures at any given time. Sample answer. You could say, I would be a tree, because they are tall, strong and live a long life. 16. Do you have any questions for me? Here are some questions you might want to ask to the interviewer. Do you have training programs for new employees? If you do, what type of training does the firm do? What makes a successful person in this organization? What do you think are the most important qualities for someone to excel in this role? How do I compare with other candidates you've interviewed for this role? What are the next steps in the interview process? Never discuss or ask questions about pay at any stage in the interview process. Ideally, it is suggested that 2 or 3 questions is enough to be asked to the interviewer. Finally, the very most important tip to a successful job interview is how you look and dress up so that interviewers or employers will be impressed the first time they see you. Remember the old saying, dress to impress. Pick out your best suit to wear for the interview. Present yourself in professional attire with clean and polished shoes. If wearing jewelry, keep it simple and don't put strong perfume. Put perfume on you sparingly as it is offensive to most people, especially those who have allergies. Presentation plays an important part in creating a positive and lasting first impression, so make sure you look the best. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Did you know that having a good business policy like refunding customers can have a big impact to your business? If you have a no-refund policy, many customers will either not make a purchase or buy less merchandise. These customers are reluctant to spend their money, in case the product isn't right. Yes, they could exchange it for other merchandise. However, if you don't have what they want currently, you have their money and they have nothing. How can that be? If you allow refunds, you are losing sales. The short-term answer is perhaps. The objective of every business is to increase profits for the long term. Why are owners afraid of giving money back? There are 3 main reasons, and the fears are the result of short-term thinking. 1. Owners can't stand seeing cash going out of the register. This results in fewer sales for the day. 2. The owner worries about bogus refunds. If you have proper controls, this will seldom happen. The people taking advantage of bogus refunds concentrate on large stores. 3. Owners are concerned with too much merchandise being returned. You could have a few customers taking advantage of this. If they are bringing back resaleable product, it should not be a concern. Most large companies have a return policy that is favorable to the customers. This encourages customers to spend more money. The customer knows unwanted merchandise can be returned. The increase in sales and profits will outweigh the risk of bogus returns with proper controls. Just have a specific refund policy in place. For example, it could be a cash refund with the original receipt and within 30 days of the purchase. The longer the return period, the less likely you will get a return. Customers will put the merchandise aside and/or lose the receipt. Your refund policy can be a huge advantage against your small competitors. Too many owners don't take advantage of separating themselves from the other businesses. It would be a good idea to have several professional signs at least 8.5 by 11 around the store with your refund policy. Using bright color paper will make this stand out even more. Here is an example of what to put on the sign. Refunds gladly made with receipt. The sign behind the register area could have the full details. You must explain and make sure all of your employees understand and follow the customer-friendly refund policy. There could be some resistance to change, especially with employees on commission. However, let them know long-term the refund policy will result in increased sales and commissions. If they still don't want to follow the policy, you are better off if they worked somewhere else. Take the first step in improving your sales and profits by improving customer service with a friendly refund policy. Take off that short-term hat and carry out policies and strategies that will increase your sales and profits long-term. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
you interested to know why you failed in your previous job interviews despite the fact that you know the work and your qualifications or educational attainments were just right for the position? In this video, you will know the top 6 reasons why you failed in job interviews. 1. Not dressing properly to impress employers. It is unfortunate that many applicants really do not consider what they are wearing to an interview. There are those who really do turn up to an interview in just jeans and a t-shirt. This does not look professional to the interviewer and can seem like the interviewee has no real intention of pursuing the job. No matter how cool or trendy the organization is, it is always better to be overdressed than underdressed. It is not just dressing in the right clothes that can make the difference. Having the clothes freshly cleaned and professionally ironed is a huge benefit. Wearing a creased shirt or trousers shows poor organization and a lack of personal care. 2. Your body language or appearance weren't great. People judge each other visually before anything else. Within a fraction of a second, the hiring manager is gathering their first impression by looking at your facial expression and body language. So it's worth dressing well for your interviews and making sure you have confident body language throughout the interview. Practice having good posture, both sitting down, walking or standing. Maintain eye contact when talking and listening. Most people find it harder to do while talking. Don't cross your arms or take a defensive posture when you sit down. Try to sit open and relaxed. Also, avoid tapping your hands or feet or doing anything else that will distract the interviewer. If you're saying the right things but not going into your interviews with an appearance that backs it up, it could be a reason why you're failing interviews. 3. You lied and did not give inconsistent answers or didn't seem to be trustworthy. It's important to be authentic and admit when you don't know something, and then show you're willing to learn it. Saying no is better than giving some long-winded answer. It's okay once or twice in an interview to say, "I'm not sure," or "No, I've never done that before, but I'd love to learn it." This is so much better than trying to lie or give a long-winded, confusing answer. Hiring managers are smart. They know when you're doing this. And if they don't feel they can trust you, they won't hire you. So next time you're tempted to lie in an interview, remember that being upfront and honest can win you a lot of likability points with the hiring manager, and can sometimes get you hired. Feeling pressure to say yes to every question or act like you know everything is a common reason why people fail to get hired in their job interviews. Hiring managers do not expect you to be able to say you've done every single thing they ask about. In fact, a good interviewer will ask some things you don't know. Keep this in mind in your next interview. 4. You have no technique how to answer a difficult or tough question. Some hiring managers will intentionally give you a difficult or hard questions to test you how to respond to that situation. They will give you a stressful moment how you'll react to the question. The best way to handle this is just to relax, give a smile and say, "I'm sorry, the question is too complex," or "I have not encountered this situation before. Can I request please to answer the question at a later time?" By doing this, you still showed that you are a true professional and can handle any situations whatever that might be. Skipping or passing a tough question is still acceptable, and this still showed professionalism and enthusiasm. Make sure before the end of the interview to go back to the question and have a ready answer. Remember always that interviewers or hiring managers can't forget the scenario if you fail to go back and answer the question you've skipped. You can always go back to the question at any time if you have a ready answer. 5. Your social media platforms and postings were not filtered to appear as good. This is becoming a big player in the recruitment process. 45% of hiring managers have stated that they have researched candidates on social media and they have found materials which has caused them to reject a prospective applicant. The main reasons for the rejections include inappropriate photos or content, information about candidates drinking or using drugs, negative talk about a previous employer, poor communication skills, discriminatory comments being posted, and discovery of lies about qualifications. To avoid this, you must be willing to treat the social media platforms that you participate in just as professionally as you would treat your CV or resume. posting images of the latest party might not be a favorable scene when seen by a recruiter or hiring manager. 6. You didn't research the job and company very much. Don't underestimate this step. Employers want to hire someone who's thorough and hardworking, no matter what job you're interviewing for. The first way to show them your work hard and not cutting corners is by walking into the interview knowing about their job and company. Try to know more than anyone else they've interviewed. Study the job description and make note of the key responsibilities. Research the company, their mission and vision. Know how they make money, who their clients, customers are, who their top competitors are, how big they are, number of employees, branches, top officers, and many more. Try to imagine what some other job seeker out there is doing, and then do twice as much. This is how you stand out. This is pure effort and you don't need talent to do this. You just need to put in the work, and employers do notice when you've done that extra research. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like, and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
You know that there are good debt management techniques that will help you opt out from your debts? In this video, 4 important steps are presented so you can ponder and choose which ones are applicable to you. Before you declare bankruptcy because you are stuck deep with several debts, think hard about such decision. The process is not easy. Financial problems are never easy. This is especially true if you owe various companies and various people lots of money. The situation will be worse once you're dealing with the situation and find out that you don't have any idea where to get the money to settle your dilemma. The reason why declaring bankruptcy must be thought hard about is the fact that such occurrence will be recorded on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. This will gravely affect your credit status in a negative manner. What you can do is find the right solutions to your problems. You can plan for how you will settle your debts. And you must abide by the rules that you set for yourself to follow. Here are only 4 tips on how you must prepare in managing your debts. 1. Do not add to your problems by acquiring more debts. This is the last thing that you need right now. You may still be tempted to swipe your credit cards every now and then. But resort to that only on emergency situations. If you have to change your lifestyle to be able to buy what you can only afford, then do that. It is better to live by your means than to live in fear of a credit collector coming at your house, ringing your phone and knocking on your door. 2. Your goal must be to reduce the amount of payments that you allot for your debts as time goes by. To achieve this, you must religiously settle your debts little by little. Whatever extra money that you get as bonuses from your work or tokens from other people, you must immediately think about your debts first. Allocate enough money to this endeavor. You want to get out of this rut as soon as possible. But what are your reasons why you want to do that? The wrong answer to this question is that you are settling your debts now so you can start using your credit cards to buy more gadgets or whatever luxury that you want to acquire. The right answer is that you want to start living according to what you can afford. 3. You can call your creditors and ask for help with your situation. You can tell them your situation and your longing to get out of that. You can ask them for the right repayment schemes that they can offer you. This way, the interests of your debts will stop from increasing. But if they have agreed on such terms, you must prove yourself worthy of it all. You must pay for whatever amount you've bargained for at every period that it must be done. 4. You can also hire a professional to handle this task for you. You can settle for this if you feel like you can no longer handle the situation. You can ask for the help of credit counselors to manage your debts and teach you how to never again get yourself into this kind of situation. Part of a good debt management is self-control and sacrifice. You just have to bear in mind that all these will be for your own benefit. Try to never commit the same mistakes with regards to money once you have finally gotten out of your dilemma. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
Did you know that success in the workplace is all about attitude and approaches to your colleagues, to your supervisors and even to your CEO? Whatever your position in relation to the world of work, one thing is clear: your attitude towards work and how you approach it makes all the difference in how well you succeed. Whether you're just entering the workforce or have been entrenched for many years or are creating your own business, the world of work is an intrinsic part of all of our lives. For a relative few, it's not all about the money. Guaranteed success in the workplace is all about attitude and approaches, and this video will explain to you lengthily. Our lives in the work world can take many transitions. As a teenager just entering the work world, it may be to earn enough money to buy a car, clothes, afford dates and for some, earn tuition into college. And along the way, discover if the type of work is one that appeals enough to continue, or indicates the need to try something else. For others, who have taken a chosen path through college and are preparing to enter the work world, their focus will be following their path into positions for which they've studied. Although it's just as possible that along the way, they may discover a penchant for something entirely different. For those who have been entrenched in the work world for many years, it's quite possible that their initial positions and intention may have been shaped or even curtailed by the need to earn enough money to support a lifestyle that may include a spouse and maybe children and a mortgage. For others, it's not a rare occurrence that they have taken the lowliest entry position and worked their way up through the workplace and achieved all they desired in terms of personal accomplishment, respect within the workplace and garnered the wealth they need to support whatever their lifestyle. For those who are creating their own business, it's rare that it's done right out of school, but more often a result of experience already gained working for someone else and in the belief that they can earn enough money to support an idea/product/service of their own, as well as support themselves. And hopefully, when it comes to hiring others to support this new business, experience has also been gained as to how to treat employees to get the best from them. You know the old saying that says, "There are no small parts, only small actors?" It's like that in the work world. There are no small positions, only small minds. Regardless your position in the work world, there is always opportunity to improve yourself. So if you foster an attitude that you are not limited to your position, and approach each workday with an open mind and pay attention, you will discover ways that you can go from a sales clerk to store manager in just a few months. Now if you're thinking this sounds a bit like those commercials on TV that are suggesting you can go from a size 22 to a size 10 in a few months with their weight loss product and you think to yourself it sounds too good to be true, perhaps you didn't pay attention to the part, combined with exercise and a sensible diet. Which is to say, that whether it's losing weight or achieving success in the work world, you will have to pay attention to everything that is going on around you, what you are doing and make a concerted effort to integrate yourself. In other words, you will have to work at it. Right now there's a TV commercial touting how you can work at home and buy a new home or earn $8,000 a month in your spare time, which does sound exciting, but not one word is said about how you can do any of this. Only that there's a website that will show you. If you've been enticed by such come-ons, it's understandable. Everyone would like to be able to buy a new house or earn lots of money, and there are those who have achieved financial independence and monetary success through the internet. So if you've gone to this or any other website seeking your fortune, that's nothing to be ashamed about. But if you were believing that such sources would be the answer to your success, time for an attitude adjustment. There is no such thing as overnight success. The only way to achieve success is by planning your work and working your plan, and that's much easier said than done, on and off the internet. Don't believe the hype that it's easy. to achieve financial independence and monetary success via the internet. It's not. In fact, it may very well be even more difficult to make a successful go of it on the internet as opposed to in the real world. Mostly because doing business on the internet is still a relatively unknown quantity. Whereas in the real world there are established ways of building a business and even well-established businesses built upon helping others build a business. Sure, there are scores of websites designed to encourage you to start building your own business on the internet, but there are so many different attitudes and approaches towards doing so that it's quite overwhelming and hard to know which ones really work. There have been many people who have lost everything because of following a certain guaranteed path of creating a successful business on the internet. Best advice: don't spend one thin dime or even attempt to start your own business on the internet until you've taken a good deal of time and done extensive research of what's being presented as the way to achieve success on the internet. And if you do achieve a state where you believe that you know what will work for you, be prepared to work, and work. Establishing and maintaining a viable business on the internet is no free or easy ride. And if you work in the real world, here's the real deal. To achieve success in any position, the first step you can take is to be at work every day, on time, and to agree, without question, to do whatever is asked of you. Of course, you shouldn't do anything unethical, but in today's work world, it's very rare that an employer would even suggest such. Too much corruption and unethical behavior has been exposed and too many organizations have been established to protect people in the workplace for this to be a common occurrence. A key example of practicing a positive attitude and approach regarding your work position. Consider your employer, all the way to the top position, as a person instead of the man. A person, just like you, who had to start somewhere, learn the ropes and make the climb to where they are. Then, take a look at the big picture and ask yourself just how much you know to be able to run a company with all its complexities, right down to the process of hiring you. If you consider your superiors as people who have not only earned their positions, but as people who have to continue to earn their positions, which involves a great deal more than your position, you'll find that your attitude and approach towards them and consequently, the experience of working with them, will improve exponentially. So what we're talking about here is learning to adjust your own attitude and approach to become an asset to your workplace, which will naturally benefit you. And by being an asset, those who are in positions to help you advance within the workplace will be more likely to do so. If you add to this mix a willingness to go the extra step, by volunteering at least your enthusiasm to learn more, do more, then you really will get noticed and yes, promoted to the level of your incompetence, as the joke goes. See, most people become their own worst enemy within the workplace because of their lackluster attitude and approach. Instead of looking for ways that they can keep their days at work at least interesting, if not exciting, which just naturally leads to advancements, they start watching the clock, goofing off, calling off sick and generally start seeing their position as a dead-end job. That's not to say that there are times when work positions truly are dead ends, but again, with a better attitude and approach, one can at least make the best of it, and begin looking for another position that may be more satisfying. There are several important benefits of making the most of your current work position while seeking another. 1. It's a fact that it's much easier to find new employment when you're already employed, and 2. It will allow you to give a 2-week notice, which is regarded as a common courtesy within the work world. Doing so will allow you to leave one position with a positive reference, and prove to your new employer that your attitude and approach is about doing the right thing. No one need believe they are stuck in a dead-end job. Even if you're someone who has been at the same workplace without feeling like you're on the fast track to improving your lot, but you believe it's better to have a steady job than risk unemployment because you do have responsibilities. Take a good, hard, long look at your attitude and approach towards your work position and start thinking in terms of what you can do to improve it, instead of lamenting how it's lacking. But, if your efforts do not improve your position, start sending out resumes. Believe it or not, employers of other companies, especially if they're in competition with your current employer, love to steal away a long-time employee. Such a transition usually is just what you need to achieve the advancements you had been seeking. Then we have the relatively rare individual whose attitude and approach has been to actively participate within their workplace while absorbing everything they could until they achieve a state of self-confidence that leads them to believe they have what it takes to strike out on their own. It may be with an improved product/service based on their previous work experience, or it may be based on solid research of an idea for a product/service they have happened upon for which they believe there is a need and one they believe they can market. These individuals have definitely chosen the road less traveled. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. For those of us on the sidelines, all we can do is support them however we can, to help them achieve success. Whatever path you're on with regards to the world of work, bottom line, success doesn't discriminate. It's equally available to everyone, regardless of age or sex. You have only to cultivate and practice the hard-won lessons learned by those before you and always be looking for opportunities to improve. If you're serious about achieving success in your workplace, as an employer, an employee or as someone who is self-employed, do a little research and discover the resource specifically created to help you understand the work world and how it works, from all sides. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in all your endeavors.
Did you know that creating or engaging a small business on the internet involves several IT professionals to ensure that your undertaking will be successful? This video, therefore, will give you 5 tips for small businesses to succeed on the internet for online business. For years, the website design market used to fall into 3 separate entities for website design and development, graphics and animation studios, specializing in custom graphic design and creative animations, website marketing, promotion firms, and web programming companies, specializing in database-driven website development. Nowadays, however, you get to see a fusion of these 3 entities in several dynamic web development and promotion companies operating from any part of the globe. These web design, development and web promotion firms are virtually all-rounders that cater to a diverse range of clientele, include those coming up for creative web design, web databases CRM, ERP as well as for SEO, search engine optimization, needs. Most small business firms all over the world heavily rely on the services of such web development firms as they usually cater to small business website design by providing web-based marketing methods that small companies can afford due to small budgets. Depending on the effectiveness of such web-based marketing, clients often see incredible successful results from clicks to conversion. There are some case studies which show that utilizing their marketing equation, some sites have gone from 10 leads a month to 300 leads. However, to achieve this is easier said than done. Web marketing firms that create a full plan for their clients using both the strategic and tactical methods crafted by specialists, consultants in turn are able to give small or large businesses increased sales. After all, that is the reason one can zero down on in order to be in a business, right? To have more sales and offer value. Therefore, the objective behind any web development or website promotion project is to create a unique selling proposition through your website that can set you apart from your competition. So your customers should only think of doing business with you, regardless of price. Small business firms today look forward to the professional creative website design and strategic web development and web promotion companies for the simple reason that they want their site to have the look and usability of a Fortune 500 company site without having to spend huge bucks for it. Yes, it is definitely considered a plus if the website is designed as a tactical marketing tool that aims to engage and educate their clients in turn. And most of these businesses have a concern in their minds: can their website provide a means to gather analytical data for them to offer better service for all? Yes, definitely they can. However, for this, optimal, effective website design strategies need to be incorporated. In a word, small business clients should be enriched with at least some of these features in order to fetch more conversions. Cutting-edge small business website design, tailor-made to provide broad market exposure of the products and services to potential clients. Highly scalable digital website designs, aimed at boosting up the growth and realization of the full perspective of the small business houses. Small business website design strategies including full-featured e-commerce solutions, to help these businesses deploy cost-effective, powerful e-commerce stores. Customized search engine optimization services, based upon individual needs and goals. However, there are umpteen so-called cheap, quick solution providers, and any small business firm must think twice before taking the plunge with them. Ideally, one should always trust a professional web development firm that gathers relevant information about their client's business through hours of discussion, clear up ideas about the requirement, nature and goal of the client's business. Based on these details, experienced, skilled web designers and developers carry out extensive research to find out the best small business website solution. On the other hand, creative, innovative content writers create specific and unique content for small business website requirements, thereby enhancing business prospects. Finally, website maintenance and search engine optimization techniques that comprise scientifically proven techniques available at a competitive price are sure to give your business a boost. Flash presentation, multimedia presentation, multilingual website development and e-commerce integration solutions complement these customized website solutions for brightening the online and even the offline image of small business firms. Here are the 5 steps to success for an online small business entrepreneurs. To ensure success of your small business through a unique website presentation, it is important that you develop a 5-step process for creating websites that meet your customers' goals. Whether it is a small business firm eager to generate leads, sell online, provide information about their services, connect their vendors to their company electronically, or start an entirely new kind of service, this 5-step process not only takes them from concept to completion, but also is the trademark of any internet development company. 1. Consulting. Every website starts with an idea. Perhaps you've been thinking about developing a website, or redesigning your existing site. At the consulting stage, a professional website development firm would strive to clear all doubts about the client's requirements. Consultation for this usually comes free in case of small to medium-sized businesses. 2. Website design. After the initial consultation, the website development firm solidifies the client's ideas by creating a blueprint for their site by employing something they call strategic design. 3. Website development. The website development project is then handled by a creator hive, composed of specialists who handle their own respective pieces of the site development. Remember, for successful website development, it is necessary to be handled by a versatile team of expert graphic artists, content writers, programmers, database specialists and technical personnel. This ensures that a qualified professional handles each task of the given project. 4. Web hosting. Since websites are an intricate interplay of graphics, text, programming and computer resources, building your site on a rock-solid web hosting foundation is critical to its marketing success. 5. Website maintenance. Once the site is available to the public, it must be maintained with the help of ongoing updates and continued development to the site so that they don't give clients, visitors of the site a chance to complain about its quality and content. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Do you know some of the ways how to increase your business profits quickly? Many business owners who operate a business want as many clients as possible, both those who have just started their business and those who have owned one for a long time. They are, however, not fully utilizing all of their assets as they could be in order to achieve their desired results. The objective of increasing business profits isn't only met by attracting more clients. There are several other reasons why a business doesn't make as much money as it should besides not having enough clients. Continue viewing on this video so that you will know how to increase your business profits quickly and easily. Here are a few simple, yet effective business coaching ideas that will help you unlock the hidden profits in business and also some reasons why things aren't operating at full potential as they should. 1. Focus more time on the important matters. You may not have enough time available to boost your business, especially if you are the one who is serving clients on a regular basis. In this case, you should consider hiring somebody to help. Running a business takes a lot of work, so let the employees handle the day-to-day issues, while you take care of the important ones such as developing strategies for present and future growth. Set aside an hour each week to brainstorm ideas, implement strategies and nurture key business relationships. 2. Carry out competitive intelligence on other businesses, especially the ones that are successful, and emulate them. This doesn't mean copying whatever they do. Take the best parts of your competitor's business and apply them to your own. It is also very important to keep a close eye on the competition, regardless of the nature of your business. If you are running a restaurant, for example, you should inspect the services, the offers and the prices of the competition. By doing a little research on other businesses, you will be able to reorganize, improve your services, adjust the prices depending on the competition, as well as introduce new offers to your clients. By knowing what your competitors are up to, you will always be one step ahead of them. In management, this is known as benchmarking. 3. Spend less of your gross profit on overhead and ineffective marketing. Lease unused space in your office or warehouse. Track sales as a result of expense. Employ salespeople on a higher commission scale rather than a high base salary. Test and measure for effective marketing campaigns before dumping a ton of money on any marketing campaign that is doomed to fail from the start. 4. Instead of competing on price, develop an ultimate strategic advantage. Emphasize the qualities that make your business stand out and create a whole new positioning in the industry. Find out what really matters to your clients by surveying them and give it to them. 5. Talk with clients and find out if they are delighted or not. Ask for suggestions. Dissatisfied customers will not return, while a delighted client will refer others. 6. Nurture existing clients. Instead of focusing on acquiring new customers, concentrate on nurturing and maintaining the clients that you already have. Make sure they are pleased with the services you provide for them and pay attention to their needs, desires and complaints. It is very important to establish and maintain good relations with your clients, as they are the ones who keep your business running. Many business coaching companies encourage selling more to existing clients because it improves a business bottom line by increasing the lifetime value of a client. It also brings new clients, attracted by positive experiences from your delighted clients. Referrals lower your acquisition cost through word-of-mouth marketing, and this also adds to business profits. 7. Upsell other products, services. Selling extras is known to be a great method of increasing profits. For example, grocery stores strategically place many magazines and snacks near the checkout. People browse and buy these while waiting in line, raising the average dollar sale with these extras. McDonald's is well known for its upsell before a sale is completed by simply asking a simple question to add on more products: complete meal, fries, sundae, or apple pie. 8. Increase your advertising. This dimension is expensive, but if things work well, the money will definitely return to you. You can also try to make the best use you can out of free advertising. Get the most out of promotions and limited offers, especially around holidays. 9. Seek out business coaching advice. Having a comprehensive set of business strategies can help you further, by providing you with new efficient methods of increasing the profits of your business. To operate a business effectively long-term, most businesses will have to deploy several strategies in order to diversify their sources of leads and maximize their profitability through smart marketing, team building, and business process management. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Do you know how to find your perfect job fast? And do you also know the steps and tips how to be successful in finding your dream job? This video will give you more details and insights how to find your perfect job fast. It's about who you know, not what you know. But what if you don't know anyone? Then what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go hunting and make contacts. When looking for any job, the first rule is to make looking for a job your job. Finding a job is your job. If you are unemployed, then you should put aside at least 6 to 8 hours of each business day for applying to jobs, making contacts, interviewing, and staying on top of your industry. This strategy will always award you a job in less time. Your goal should be to apply to a minimum of 3 jobs per day. You should manage a list of contacts of everyone you directly or indirectly make contact with. If you already have a job, then you shouldn't be looking for a job. But if it is imperative that you find a new job, then it will be more difficult to find the adequate time to job hunt. Therefore, you should put aside the time for your job search as it becomes available. Analyze your craft. You should know your craft. Know the skill you hold and the level at which you best perform. Rate yourself fairly, do not underrate your talent. Know your worth, but better know the least salary you are willing to accept. It is important to know your skill set. Knowing this information will help you better assess the position which you are seeking. Getting a job isn't only about the employer finding the perfect fit, it is also for you to find the perfect fit. Research the salary for your position. Once you are familiar with the salary, you should stay at least $5,000 within that range, e.g. if the salary for the job is expected to be $45,000, then you should seek opportunity within the range of $40,000 to $45,000 or $45,000 to $50,000, depending on your level of skill for the position. Prepare your resume. You should update your current resume or create a new resume. Your original resume should be generic, but keyword-rich. The generic version should not contain any formal greets to any particular party. Basically, you should be able to apply to any job with the generic version without any editing. It should be readily available for fast access and quick apply. The generic version will be used to post on job boards, for employers to view when searching the database. Editing your resume for formal greets should be done at the time of applying to a job. You want your resume to be keyword-rich because when recruiters search databases for resumes, they usually use keywords to find employees. If your resume has the proper keyword density and strategy, then your resume is more likely to be returned within the search results, e.g. if the job you are searching for is customer service, then your resume should focus on the keyword customer service. Many argue that a one-page resume is the best resume, but in my experience a one-page resume doesn't provide enough information for those with extensive backgrounds. In this case I suggest not exceeding 2 pages, unless the job you are applying for is information technology related or relies on extended details within the industry, then it is best to list or add every product, program, service, and technology which you have touched, worked with, or have knowledge of. Even still, do not exceed 3 pages at this point, and that may be too much for an entry-level position. Though, I must admit I have seen 5-page resumes which are highly detailed and keyword-rich that receive a very high response rate. Never boast or brag on your resume. Be truthful and list your objective, skills, professional experience, education, and knowledge. If you do not have the ability or time to create an award-winning resume, then it may be worthwhile to invest in a professional resume writing service. Build your contacts. The best way to make contacts is by calling the employer or recruiter directly. Usually this information is made available when applying for a job online. If you are at a job board site such as Monster.com, CareerBuilder.com, or a niche-based job board such as DataCenterLife.com, then more than likely the contact information is found on the job post page. If you are applying through an employer site, then more than likely the contact information can be found under the Contact Us page, usually found on the site's navigational bar. Respect the wishes of employers and recruiters who state not to contact by phone. You should create a contact for any job you apply for. Manage your contact list. Every employer or recruiter you make contact with directly or indirectly should be added to your contact list. Your contact list should include the company name, contact name, email address, phone number, and position title. You should also have a field or method which denotes the last time you spoke with or contacted each contact. This is important so you do not make the mistake of contacting someone you spoke with days earlier as well. This helps you manage your time between each contact. You should follow up with your contacts at least once every week or every 7 business days. Out of work. Out of the loop. Just because you are unemployed doesn't mean you need to fall behind in your industry. You should still stay familiar with your industry and spend your time wisely. Study your industry market and know the new technologies being used inside your job industry. Stay afloat, use your resources such as the internet, newspapers, media, friends, and ex-coworkers to know what is going on in your job industry. If you are out of work for months and have no idea of a new application that is being used by all professionals in your industry, then it will look bad in an interview when you have no clue what they are talking about and you are claiming to be a skilled professional in the industry. Keep your eye on the prize and know your stuff. Even if you are not an expert at it, at least have the basic knowledge. Don't answer the phone if you are not prepared. You only have one chance at making a good impression, do not blow it. Do not answer the phone if you are too busy to talk. If you see a number that you do not recognize, assume it is an employer or recruiter and you should not answer the call if you are too busy. There is nothing worse than a crying baby in the background, a large bulldozer from a nearby construction site, the sound of a flushing toilet, a third-party conversation going on in the background, or being in a drop call zone when an employer or recruiter calls. You should be focused, relaxed, calmed, and ready to answer all questions swiftly without any interruptions when the phone rings, otherwise allow your voicemail service to get the call and return the call later when the time is more convenient. Give yourself a break. I also suggest taking off Friday. Don't do any job hunting or interviewing this day, enjoy yourself. Have yourself a 3-day weekend. The only reason you should schedule Friday for interviewing is if the employer or recruiter schedule it. Never inconvenience your interviewer unless it is life-threatening or extremely important. Also, you should still answer your phone on Friday when you have the time. If you are too busy or unable to answer your phone, then make sure you have a voicemail service set up. On interviewing. Getting an interview is what you worked hard for. Having a successful interview is just as important as getting the job. This determines everything. Preparation for your interview should begin the minute you are scheduled for your interview. You should study the background of the company. You should be familiar with what the company does and their procedures. Most of this information is usually found on the company's website, sometimes buried within the site, so you may have to do some digging. You should prepare questions which you may have for the interviewer about the company and/or position. You should familiarize or refresh yourself with the requirements, qualifications of the position. And most importantly, you should have a good night's sleep before the interview, at least 8 to 10 hours of rest. You should have at least 2 business suits, attire for interviewing. If you have a second interview, you should have the ability to switch to a different suit. Your suits should be only of the 3 colors, black, navy, or gray. Make sure you are well groomed for the interview. You should arrive to the interview between 10 to 15 minutes early. You should never come to an interview empty-handed. You should at least have a business folder with notepad paper, a writing pen, and a hard copy of your resume. When interviewed, you should relax and be yourself. You should be focused, articulate well, and be keen. Make non-offensive eye contact with your interviewer. Ask questions about the company and the position. Ask the interviewer about their position and the length of time they've been with the company. Ask the interviewer why the position is available and why did the last person leave the company. Ask the interviewer how soon they hope to fill the available position. Ask the interviewer for a business card or way to contact them if you have any questions later. Just remember to be yourself and remember that the interviewer is only human just like you. If you don't get the job, then try and try again, until you get a job. Oftentimes, an interview is a display of your personality and character. If you have truthfully and appropriately represented your skill set on your resume, then the interviewer already know you that you are capable of handling the job. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like, and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Do you know that workplace discrimination and harassment is unlawful in most countries of the world? Creating a workplace free from discrimination and harassment is the responsibility of the management. This video will present to you the different facets of workplace discrimination and harassment so you will guide it in your daily lives or endeavor. Employers are responsible for setting the example of what is acceptable in the workplace. Creating a workplace culture where all people are respected, and putting in place appropriate policies may reduce employer liability if an inappropriate behavior happens. Employers need to remember that verbal attacks which harass or hurt an employee can be just as significant as physical threats or attacks. For instance, the Australian federal and state legislation states unlawful discrimination occurs when a group of people, individuals are treated less favorably than any other person or group of people because of their ethnicity, race, color, sex, marital status, age or disability, religion and sexual reference, whether you're a member of a trade union and any other characteristic specified under anti-discrimination or human rights legislation. Workplace discrimination and harassment can occur in employment and selection of staff, training and type of training being offered, being considered for a transfer, promotion or sacking or workplace conditions. What is defined as unlawful harassment? Under Australian federal and state legislation, unlawful harassment can occur when a person humiliated because of their race, or intimidated and insulted because of their color, ethnicity, or any other specified characteristic under anti-discrimination or human rights legislation. Workplace harassment can include behaviors such as mailing or submitting sexually explicit or suggestive letters, notes or emails, the making of derogatory taunts or comments about a person's religion or race, telling, insulting, and making of jokes about particular racial groups, nude or pornographic posters displayed and asking of questions about a person's sex life or personal life. The nature of harassment and/or discrimination. No matter how serious is the incident, whether it be a one-off or prolonged and long-termed, it will still be judged as harassment or discrimination. If left unchecked, the continued harassment will erode the drive and ability of the individual or group to eventually affect the overall performance of their work performance. However, the absence of any formal or verbal complaint is not necessarily any indication that harassment or discrimination is not occurring. In a lot of cases, the person or group being harassed or discriminated against will not complain or report the incident in the belief that they will be deemed as wingers or the incident as too trivial. In most cases, the victim of the workplace harassment or discrimination is lacking confidence in their own ability and has fear of retribution or even worse, being dismissed. Hostile working environment. As an employer, you will also need to be aware of your responsibilities in making the work environment a safe place from a culture of sexual or racial harassment. Both are deemed as hostile. An example of a potential hostile working environment would include the display of nude or pornographic material, swearing and crude conversations, racially or sex-specific jokes. What cannot be classified as harassment or discrimination? However, it must be remembered that comments and advice given by supervisors, work colleagues and managers on the work performance or work-related behavior of an individual or group should not be confused with workplace harassment or discrimination. Feedback during normal performance appraisals and work performance meetings will always be deemed as stressful and will in some cases affect the well-being of the person or group being appraised. However, managers and supervisors should always keep these concerns in mind and perform any necessary appraisal with sensitivity without avoiding the need to provide full and frank feedback to their staff. What is workplace bullying? Sourced from the Department of Workplace Health and Safety, they claimed that workplace bullying is the repeated less favorable treatment of a person by another or others in the workplace, which may be considered unreasonable and inappropriate workplace practice. It includes behavior that intimidates, offends, degrades or humiliates a worker. Bullies will use their status or power of position in a company or business to target both men and women with their bullying practices. Bullying behavior can range from obvious verbal or physical assault to very subtle psychological abuse. This behavior would include psychological harassment, mind games, excluding or isolating targeted employees, assigning impossible tasks or jobs to targeted employees, physical or verbal abuse, inconvenience selected employees by deliberately changing work rosters and shifts, yelling and screaming offensive language, intimidating and undermining work performance deliberately by withholding vital job information. Where and how do you write a formal complaint on discrimination, harassment and bullying? Keep any tangible evidence of harassment, discriminatory acts or bullying, such as emails, texts, notes or voicemails. The complaint letter should be written in formal business style and be addressed to your manager or to the Human Resource Department manager. Every organization has its own grievance procedures, so you need to check how it is to be done and where it should be addressed. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Did you know that career planning in today's turbulent times is very challenging? Did you also know that the job market is competitive with few or no jobs available at all? This video, therefore, will assist you in career planning in today's very turbulent times. What you were taught in school no longer applies to the job searching skills needed in today's market. The rules have changed from the preparation of resume to the interview process. Don't be caught with an objective statement on your resume or asking the interviewer questions. You should have researched on the web on your own. Here are some hot tips for career planning in today's turbulent times. 1. Identify your top competencies, strengths, demonstration situations and high point stories. Different behaviors for different jobs are needed. Today, there are sophisticated career planning assessments on the market to help you identify your ideal work environment. It is important for you to become very familiar with your strongest skills. Then, whether it is a resume, a job application, or a job interview, you'll be able to articulate them succinctly and professionally. 2. Identify your competitive advantage. The single most important job search skill is your ability to communicate what you can do for a company. When the hiring manager believes that you can help solve the type of problems they face, you dramatically increase your chances of being offered the job. The fact is, companies will hire someone when they believe that the person will bring more value than they cost. 3. Selling yourself using high-point stories and demonstrating your skills through examples. Your accomplishments or achievements can be identified in your demonstration situations. Using accomplishments in your letters, resumes and interviews gives a convincing picture of you in action. Employers today want doers. Your high-point story should illustrate a contribution that you made to something that had a positive outcome. Effective resume writing. Creating an effective resume is a crucial step in the career planning process. Most job seekers rush into creating a resume before they fully understand themselves. A resume advertises you, it sells ability, experience, potential benefits and value. It stimulates the interest of prospective employers to find out more about you and invite you to an interview. A common myth is that a good resume will get you a job. The reality is, however, that a resume will at best interest the reader enough to want to meet you. Here are some helpful tips on writing an effective resume. Keep your resume brief, especially in describing responsibilities. Describe the key outcomes or accountabilities of the position, not the tasks. Eliminate any information which is extraneous or that could create a negative effect, for example, marital status, religious or political affiliations, sports or hobbies, salary and references. Make sure it is formatted neatly with the latest software to help you. Be sure it has plenty of white space and use the grammar and spell checker. Final copies should be printed on at least 20-pound bond paper in ivory or white. Check to make sure you use a consistent format throughout your resume. If you used bold headings, make sure all headings are bold. Also make sure your verb tense is correct. Have your resume reviewed before finalizing it. Typos and spelling errors are almost guaranteed to eliminate you from being considered. Do not underestimate the importance of using a cover letter in your job search. Cover letters reflect the time, care and preparation you have given to your search. They also demonstrate enthusiasm and confidence, which can help you begin to develop a rapport with the reader. The interview. The interview is an exchange of information between the candidate and the company for the purpose of determining if there is a fit for the open position. You have certain qualifications to offer and they have certain needs to fill. Your qualifications have already separated you from the pack and brought you to the final selection process. The following tips will provide you with some techniques and information to help you fine-tune your presentation. Dress conservatively. Men should wear a suit and tie, dark colors. Women must wear a suit or a dress with a jacket, conservative colors, simple jewelry, little makeup and very light perfume. Neatness is critical. Arrive about 5 to 10 minutes early. Be nice to everyone you meet at the company. Sit up straight, leaning forward slightly. This helps to convey an attitude of high interest and energy. Be positive, friendly, enthusiastic and sincere. Practice will help you to relax and be yourself. Be positive about previous employers and managers. Maintain good eye contact. Rest hands comfortably in your lap, gesture appropriately as you speak. Speak at adequate levels and avoid monotone patterns, don't drift off at the end of sentences. Speak with assurance. Be an attentive listener, ask questions and clarify meanings, answer concisely and clearly, do not ramble. Anticipate general questions and those related to your experience. Prepare answers ahead of time. Picture yourself answering these questions confidently. Anticipate behavioral interviewing questions that demonstrate you have the behaviors, competencies, and attitude to do the job. For examples of behavioral interviewing questions, please search online. Once you have won the job you want, it is important to maintain your competitive advantage. The world of employment is dynamic. Employees need to become just as competitive and strategic about their careers as their employers are. More significantly, employees need to take responsibility for their own careers. If you want to continually compete and win in today's job market, you must maintain a competitive edge in your job performance in order to do so. Just as everyone has strengths, everyone has weaknesses or hindrances to performance that they must manage and overcome in order to grow professionally. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. Did you know that improving the balance of your life at work and outside of work can bring real benefits to you as well as to your employer? Research suggests that managing one's work-life balance is productive to all of us. This video, therefore, will present to you the 4 facets of work-life balance so you can live a more lasting, meaningful and happy life. I recently came through a week of very hard work, chaotic energy and long hours. As I reviewed my goals and progress for the week, I realized that I couldn't remember much of anything that happened during that week. It was all a muddled blur in my mind, one day blending into the next. I do believe that hard work is good for us. However, if we don't also include periods of rest, quiet contemplation and recreation, what are we working so hard for? We must also make time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. They say, a woman's work is never done, but this holds true for men also. Work in general is never done, which is a good thing really, because if there is no more work to be done, there is no more progress to be made. But constant work without play makes for a very dull existence. The key is balance. It is a difficult thing to achieve for many, myself included. For most of our lives, we have either been going 100 miles an hour, or stalled completely. So how do we create balance in our lives? Personally, I believe there are 4 key areas of our lives that require daily attention. By the way, they are listed in order of importance. 1. God or spirituality. Taking time to center yourself and commune with God, whatever your interpretation of God may be, is crucial. Prayer, meditation and quiet contemplation are so important to our overall health. It doesn't matter what religion you practice, it matters only that you make time to honor your spiritual self and your connection to the divine, every single day. First thing in the morning is best for most people, since it can help you adopt a positive mindset for your day. Or you may prefer the late evening hour before bedtime, to help you distress from your day. You don't have to spend hours on this, 30 to 60 minutes is enough. 2. Self. Each of us needs time every day to work on our physical and emotional wellness. This is time we can use for exercise, journaling and self-exploration, and hobbies. Again, it doesn't have to be massive amounts of time, but at least some time for exercise and self-care is necessary. Women especially are good at taking care of everyone else and neglecting themselves. Don't do that. You cannot fully give to someone else when you are empty yourself. Make yourself a priority, and make time to care properly for yourself, physically and emotionally. Trust me, you will be a much happier person and be able to give that much more to those you love. 3. Spouse and family. This is actually 2 categories, but they do tend to blend together. Time together as a family is so important, and it is something that is sadly beginning to happen less and less in our hurried society. Here are some ways to help that. Make it a priority to have dinner together every single night. No distractions or television blaring in the background. Have a family day or family night where you spend one evening or perhaps one weekend day together doing something fun as a family, and this doesn't include camping out around the television. Go to the park and have a picnic, visit flea markets or garage sales, or during the winter you can build a snowman or go sledding or ice skating. Time spent together having fun is the most important thing. This goes for you and your spouse also. Have a weekly date night where the 2 of you spend time alone together, without the kids, and without distraction. Relationships require maintenance to keep them strong. Make it romantic and rekindle the flame that once brought you together. 4. Work and business. Are you surprised I put this last? Most people today put work first and forget the rest, but doing so creates a sense of constant duty and drudgery. Work is important, but it's not the most important thing in life. If you make the other 3 categories your first priorities, your time spent working will be much more productive. You won't feel so burned out and stressed out, and you will accomplish a lot more than you would otherwise. One of the most important things we can do to become more balanced in our lives is master the art of mindfulness. It means being fully present in every moment, giving our full attention to every task. This can be difficult for many of us because as we are performing one task, our mind is already moving ahead to the next task, and the one after that. This means that at any given time, we are performing multiple tasks at the same time. One, we are performing with our hands, and the others in our mind. What a way to feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Try focusing only on one task at a time, and I think you'll be surprised at how much more you can get done, and with less fatigue at the end of the day. It takes practice though. At first you may need to consistently bring your attention back to the task at hand. Your mind may want to keep wandering, as it is used to doing. That's okay, simply bring it gently back to what you are doing right now, and continue on. With practice, you will be able to master this and feel much more centered and calm throughout your days. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. You know that possessing essential job skills to get you promoted is an important part in managing yourself so you will be recognized by your boss. You know in your own mind that you deserve a raise or promotion, but you can't seem to get the attention of your boss to prove it. This video, therefore, will present to you the 5 essential job skills to get you promoted, and once you've mastered these skills, you'll be sitting pretty in your new office. Here are 5 essential ways you can let your potential shine, no matter what field you are in. 1. Whatever you do, do it well. McDonald's has gained a reputation for being the classic plan B for high school dropouts and college graduates. Would you like fries with that? Few people know that even McDonald's has their own internal competition for employees with the best job skills. Each year, hundreds of young employees compete using their service and food preparation skills. I'm sure the competitors would agree that they are being judged on techniques that most employees are totally oblivious to. No matter how insignificant you believe your job to be, you can do it with class and pride. So you're stuck in a crappy intern position, spending your days serving coffee and filing papers. Simply do your job, and that's what people will expect of your abilities. Serve the coffee with style and become the fastest filer in the office, and people will see that these skills are below your IQ and that you are capable of so much more. 2. Think like a chief. It is a real challenge to acknowledge the perspective of a chief. Chiefs must be thinking about the big picture, the long-term effects of projects, the financial aspects of the business, and how changes will affect the welfare of the overall organization. They are expected to be creative, understand all the areas within their span of control, recall important data off the top of their heads, and leap tall buildings in a single bound. They are looking at their team for the people who stand out and show an interest in expanding their duties. While you may not aspire to be Superwoman, propose new ideas to your boss and explain how they will benefit the company. Spend time asking questions about other functions of the company. When I first joined the volunteer fire department, I asked a lot of questions about my area and things outside my area, says Kimberly Dawn Wells, a freelance writer from Wisconsin. I went to a lot of meetings and learned about the functions of the department and firefighting as a craft. The chiefs really noticed my interest and thought of me as a leader, right off the bat. They thought of me as intelligent, just because I asked questions and had an interest. They saw that I could hold my own. If you never step outside of your current role, people won't see you as capable of growth. You can't be promoted if you don't know how to handle the responsibilities of your position. 3. Don't be irreplaceable. Especially when you are in an organization where you have a very specialized duty, don't do your job so well that your boss would rather keep you where you are at than promote you. Share your knowledge with others. Teach people how to do their job well and make sure your boss notices this. We have a lot of teachers who are so great at what they do that hiring them for an administrative position would be a loss to our district. Kimberly Dawn Wells also serves as school board clerk. We love that these people are around to mentor our other teachers so that they can move forward in their career and we still get the benefits of their expertise. They help all our teachers grow. 4. Understand how you contribute to your organization. No matter where you are on the seniority list or pay scale, it is important to understand where you fit in your company's future and why you are a valuable asset. First of all, you want to make sure that you could defend your job if you had to. If you can't explain to your employer why they need you, they might see your job as expendable. Second, if you don't know what specific value you bring to the bottom line, you are missing out on the opportunity to negotiate for something better. Third, if you choose to leave your current job and seek employment elsewhere, you need to make a powerful, competent, and profitable first impression with your new boss. 5. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. This statement goes way beyond clothes. You have an opportunity to be your promoted self in everything you do. When you give presentations, don't just be Alex the secretary. Be the essence of Alex the team leader. Don't handle complaints as Sophie the barista. Be Sophie the manager. Don't come to work with a vague idea of what you need to do during the week. Be Emma, the Senior VP of Finance, and master that weekly planner. Step out of your title and consider how you can act the part of your ideal position. Of course, be aware that your acting doesn't include overstepping boundaries that could compromise your job. Ask yourself, if I were planning this campaign as the executive director, what would I do different? Add those last few details so your work really shines. You may be thinking, this is a lot of extra work that I'm not getting paid to do. What's in it for me? Unfortunately, we graduate from high school and college with a lot of memorized facts and very few applicable soft skills. Too many people who are getting promoted are the best out of their applicant pool, but not necessarily the best person for the position. By developing these job skills, you are showing a heightened emotional intelligence that employers agree is just as or more important than the hard skills. It will take a little time and extra effort to get the attention you need, but it is well worth the satisfaction of knowing that you're finally in the position you deserved. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.
In today's turbulent times, do you know how to deal with high-stress jobs? If you have knowledge but still needing additional information, this video, therefore, will help you how to deal with high-stress jobs. Stress is not always bad. A little bit of stress can help you stay focused, energetic, and able to meet new challenges in the workplace. It's what keeps you on your toes during a presentation or alert to prevent accidents or costly mistakes. But in today's hectic world, the workplace too often seems like an emotional roller coaster. Long hours, tight deadlines, and ever-increasing demands can leave you feeling worried, drained, and overwhelmed. And when stress exceeds your ability to cope, it stops being helpful and starts causing damage to your mind and body as well as to your job satisfaction. You can't control everything in your work environment, but that doesn't mean you're powerless, even when you're stuck in a difficult situation. If stress on the job is interfering with your work performance, health, or personal life, it's time to take action. No matter what you do for a living, what your ambitions are, or how stressful your job is, there are plenty of things you can do to reduce your overall stress levels and regain a sense of control at work. Common causes of workplace stress include fear of being laid off, more overtime due to staff cutbacks, pressure to perform to meet rising expectations but with no increase in job satisfaction, pressure to work at optimum levels all the time, lack of control over how you do your work, and many other reasons. You can't always avoid the tensions that occur on the job, but you can take steps to manage stressful jobs, and these are: 1. Don't be a hero. There is no upside to self-martyrdom. Letting yourself burn out won't do anyone any good, but taking a moment to recognize that can. So start with a little self-discipline. You don't have to go around whining about how much you have to do. Instead, politely but firmly let the people you work with know that you've reached your limit and can't handle additional work or interruptions at the moment. 2. Establish boundaries. In today's digital world, it's easy to feel pressure to be available 24 hours a day. Establish some work-life boundaries for yourself. That might mean making a rule not to check email from home in the evening, or not answering the phone during dinner. Although people have different preferences when it comes to how much they blend their work and home life, creating some clear boundaries between these realms can reduce the potential for work-life conflict and the stress that goes with it. 3. Talk to your supervisor. Employee health has been linked to productivity at work, so your boss has an incentive to create a work environment that promotes employee well-being. Start by having an open conversation with your supervisor. The purpose of this isn't to lay out a list of complaints, but rather to come up with an effective plan for managing the stressors you've identified, so you can perform at your best on the job. While some parts of the plan may be designed to help you improve your skills in areas such as time management, other elements might include identifying employer-sponsored wellness resources you can tap into, clarifying what's expected of you, getting necessary resources or support from colleagues, enriching your job to include more challenging or meaningful tasks, or making changes to your physical workspace to make it more comfortable and reduce strain. 4. Take time to recharge. To avoid the negative effects of chronic stress and burnout, you need time to replenish and return to your pre-stress level of functioning. This recovery process requires switching off from work by having periods of time when you are neither engaging in work-related activities, nor thinking about work. That's why it's critical that you disconnect from time to time, in a way that fits your needs and preferences. Don't let your vacation days go to waste. When possible, take time off to relax and unwind, so you come back to work feeling reinvigorated and ready to perform at your best. When you're not able to take time off, get a quick boost by turning off your smartphone and focusing your attention on non-work activities for a while. 5. Move on. If you have exhausted all your options, and you are still struggling, then it might be worth looking for a new job. If a stressful job doesn't make you ill, it can erode your confidence in your own abilities, which then makes it harder to leave and find another job. When looking for a new role, it is worth researching a company's work culture, so you do not find yourself in the same situation. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in all your endeavors. Finding out and understanding yourself and your personality can help you choose a career that's perfect for you. Did you know this? This video, therefore, will present and discover the perfect career for your personality. Choosing a career path is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make, but how do you decide what is right for you? You may take a career path that uses the skills you have or the education you've gotten. You may even choose a career based on what you think you should do because of what your parents or teachers have told you is right for you. But you may not know that you are naturally more suited for some careers than for others. Why? Each of us has an individual personality type that affects how much we'll like a job. Think, for instance, about a carpenter versus a counselor. A carpenter works with concrete objects, according to specified procedures, and has a tangible result. A counselor works with people and their feelings. She has to judge success and the results of her work based on abstract concepts. Which of these sounds more appealing to you? Do you have a strong preference for one or the other? Now, imagine if you had to make your less preferred choice your career, and you will get an idea of the impact that your personality has on your job satisfaction. There is quite a bit of variation in how people think and process information, what they see as important, and how they make decisions. All of this variation can affect how happy or unhappy someone is in a work environment. Each one of us has different criteria for what a great job is, and to find your own perfect career, it is crucial to identify what is important to you. The first step is to figure out your personality type. The most common personality test used for career counseling is called the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. This personality test measures 4 facets of personality. 1. Extroverted introverted. Do you get your energy from being with people, or being alone? 2. Sensing intuition. Do you see what's actual, or what's possible? 3. Thinking feeling. Do you make decisions with your head or your heart? 4. Judging perceiving. Do you like to make decisions, or keep your options open? There are many ways to find out what your personality type is. Some people prefer to read about the types and choose what seems to fit best. There are also free quizzes on the internet based on the principles of the Myers-Briggs that can give you an idea of where you may fit. However, if you are serious about finding out what type you are, the most reliable and accurate method is to take the official Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. This is a scientifically validated instrument that will identify where you fall in each of the categories. This assessment can only be administered by someone trained in its application. and must include a consultation with a trained coach or consultant according to its licensing guidelines. You can't take the personality tests through a career counselor in your area or online. If you take it online, you will typically get the results the same day, and you can usually request a special report that will go into detail about what is important to look for in a career. Once you have figured out your personality type, you will want to look at the careers you are considering and evaluate whether they fit what's important to you. Some questions to ask yourself. How much time will I spend interacting with people? Will it be too much or too little? To what extent will I be expected to follow standard procedures? Will I feel restricted by too much structure? Will I feel frustrated by too little? Will this job require me to use logic and reason things out? Will it require me to use compassion and consider how decisions will make people feel? Am I comfortable with the extent to which I will have to act based on thinking or feeling? How much latitude will this job give me to make my own schedule? Is it too little? Too much? It's important to be realistic about what a job entails, and to ask as many questions as possible about prospective jobs so that you can evaluate how well they'll fit you. As you learn more about yourself, you will become more able to judge which jobs will bring you satisfaction. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in all your endeavors.
Know how to handle a difficult boss so that you will be his or her favorite employee forever? If you don't know, then this video is for you. Do you love your job, but not necessarily your boss? If you have a difficult boss, your first impulse may be to quit your job. Of course, the decision to quit your job because of your boss is your decision to make, but you shouldn't put your future or your finances in jeopardy because of someone else. Please continue viewing on so that you will know the tips how to handle a difficult boss. One of the best ways to go about dealing with a difficult boss involves having an open line of communication, as often as possible. You may be surprised how many conflicts and problems arise from miscommunication. What you may interpret as a mean, mad, or upset boss, may actually just be the result of miscommunication. Even if you aren't required to update or report to your boss, you may want to consider doing so. This is especially easy if you and your boss work in the same establishment. Another one of the many ways that you go about handling a difficult boss involves keeping your opinions to yourself. As much as you want to, you will want to refrain from talking badly or gossiping about your boss. Unfortunately, many individuals, possibly just like you, do not realize who talks to who or how fast word can travel. If you and your supervisor already have a strained relationship, you will not want to make it worse with workplace gossip. You can also try and improve your workplace relationship with your boss by extending an olive branch. You may want to go out of your way to be polite and offer assistance. For example, you may want to consider offering to work late or offer your assistance for a project that may have a tight deadline. Also, something as simple as saying hello or acknowledging your boss may be enough to improve their attitude or demeanor toward you. You need to remember that working in management can be difficult. That is what leads many managers to have the demeanors that they have. Many feel as if they need to be professional and demanding, all at the same time. If you have tried all of the above-mentioned approaches and are still having problems dealing with your difficult boss, you may want to consider going over your supervisor's head. In most cases, you will find that your supervisor has someone that they need to report to. While this approach may be able to help you deal with a difficult boss, it is important that you use your best judgment. You do not want to go above your supervisor with small problems, such as a rushed meeting. Issues that you may want to bring to the attention of your boss's supervisor include sexual harassment or multiple promotion denials. Another approach that you can take involves quitting your job. However, as stated above, you may want to refrain from doing so. It is advised that you do not let another person, such as your boss, ruin your opportunity to have a good job or receive funds to pay your bills and support your family. Before you make the decision to hand in your resignation, it is advised that you seriously consider your decision to quit, as well as the consequences for doing so. If you are sure that resigning from your job is the best decision, you will want to do so in a pleasant and appropriate manner, no matter how you feel about your supervisor. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like, and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job. You know how to become your own life coach? To become your own life coach, you must identify what you are seeking, then define and make the positive changes needed to maximize your ability to attain them. These changes may center on your career, finances, lifestyle, self-confidence, organizational skills, relationships, or any other area of life. While there are professional life coaches who are paid for their insights, you have the power to write your own destiny. Continue viewing this video to learn how to be your own life coach. Be the change you want to see around the world. We can't make other people be more considerate, helpful, honest, etc., but if everyone were to work on themselves and develop these attributes, our world would be a better place. Here are the tips. Don't be judgmental. Look for and recognize the good in yourself and in others. We are all capable of so-called good and bad behaviors, and we all have our good and off days. We are all unique, and it is wonderful that we are different and not all the same, in our appearance, our thoughts, our opinions, our likes and dislikes. Being different is not threatening, it is not bad, it is just different. Embrace the differences and be happy for the variety. Likewise, forget the concepts of right and wrong. People are not good or bad or right or wrong, they just are. If you were in their shoes, maybe you would act differently, or maybe not. Being judgmental wastes time and cuts you off from opportunities and meaningful relationships, because you are not perfect either, and your judgment might be worse than the person's you are judging. Respect. Don't make the mistake of thinking your rights are the only ones that count. Don't ignore the other person's rights. Our fundamental right is to be respected. Being wealthy does not make a person more deserving of respect, and neither does a high-flying career with a fancy title. Respect is not about material issues or where one sits on the social ladder. Respect is acknowledging another human being's dignity and treating them how you wish to be treated yourself. We all came onto this earth equal, and we're all checking out as equals. What happens in between is just a series of different life experiences. The poor man who lives in a slum, who cares for strangers, volunteers assistance without expecting anything in return, and lives a clean, honest life is more deserving of respect than a wealthy businessman who dresses in fine clothes, lives in a huge mansion, and treats everyone like pond amoeba, cheats on his wife, swindles his shareholders, and has forgotten how to tell the truth. Be a good listener. How often do you really listen to other people? How often do you plan what you are going to say next while they are talking, or allow your mind to drift off onto something else instead of concentrating on their every word? It takes practice to be a good listener, but in being one, you are showing respect and in a position to better comprehend the real message being given to you. You avoid misunderstandings and missed instructions. Furthermore, the other person will appreciate your attention and return the courtesy. Be interested, not interesting. This goes hand in hand with being a good listener. People love to talk about themselves and will delight in the opportunity to do so, so ensure you ask questions and take an interest in what they are telling you. Don't worry about them hogging the limelight, you can have your turn during the conversation. Have you ever met someone who only talks about themselves? Count the number of times you use I in your conversations. Judging, arguing points, interrupting the conversation, and using I a lot are sure signs you need to review your communication skills. Respond from your heart. We tend to respond to others using our head, not our heart. We formulate stories about us, we defend our ego, or we judge other people or what they have said. If we respond from our heart, we can respond with understanding and a sense of connection. Find something good to say about people and to people. Build people up, don't knock them down. Go with your gut instincts. Be truthful. There is a good reason for the saying, honesty is the best policy. Nothing good ever comes from lies, and there is a difference between being diplomatic and telling an outright lie. Nobody trusts a liar. If you've made a mistake, well, welcome to the human race. You don't have to lie to cover it up. You don't have to tell your truth brutally, there are gentle and tactful ways of delivering truths and you should think carefully before you speak. But don't try to be deceitful because it has a habit of coming back to haunt you, and in those situations you are worse off than if you had just come clean in the first place, as uncomfortable as that may seem at the time. Be helpful. When you need a helping hand, don't you just love the person who comes up and offers that to you? Wouldn't you love the opportunity to repay them? You can be that person that others look to respectfully with gratitude in their hearts, who will, one day, repay the gesture. What comes around, goes around. If you want people to be helpful to you, you must be helpful to others. It doesn't matter whether this is assisting your boss with a special project you can see he needs help with, or a coworker who is struggling with a large workload, or an elderly neighbor struggling up the stairs with her arms full. People do remember kindness. Maintain your integrity and your dignity. People with their integrity intact are easier to deal with in work or personal situations. They know where they stand and you know where you stand with them. You will feel better about yourself when you set your standards and stand by them, and you will attract those who respect your standards and who have standards of their own. Being a doormat is disrespectful to yourself and to the person walking all over you. It does not allow them to grow and learn to do something for themselves. Learn to say no gracefully. You have as much right as everyone else on the planet to have your own opinion and your own way of doing things. Go the extra mile. I mean this in a couple of ways. First, whether you are either asked to do something, or you are offering to do something, remember that if something is worth doing in the first place, then it is worth doing well. And while you are at it, what little touches can you offer to improve it? For example, who would you rather go to for your shoe shine? Mr. A does a wonderful buff and polish and is timely and not too expensive. Mr. B also does a wonderful buff and polish, he is also timely and not expensive, but he is also cheerful and interested in you and whistles while he works, so after your polish, you go on your way feeling on top of the world. Mr. B just went the extra mile for you. He didn't just polish your shoes, he lifted your spirits and made you feel good. If you are offering a coworker assistance with copying some documents, go the extra mile and ask if she needs a hand stapling them or collating them. Going the extra mile need not involve a large expense of time, energy or money, but its value to the recipient is often priceless, and one day, it will be reciprocated. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Neither beat around the bush being evasive, nor make promises you can't keep. On the other hand, if you say you are going to do something, do it. Be known as a reliable person. Honor your promises and agreements wherever possible, this stems back to integrity. Prepare to be flexible if need be, but know that you don't have to bend over so far backwards that your back snaps. Being assertive and being aggressive are two entirely different things, and you do not need aggression to be assertive. In fact, you are better off without the aggression. If you are wishy-washy and allow people or circumstances to be unconcerned for your position, you will develop that reputation and find more and more people willing to walk all over you and more situations in which it occurs. Being like this does not prove you are valuable to anybody, it just means you are a pushover. So, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on the next helpful video. Remember to always listen to advisors or knowledgeable friends so you will be successful in landing your dream job.